you play either red or black. You just keep playing the almost 50-50 shot. But I mean, you're relying on luck. I don't think there's any skill involved in that. Let's jump in to game number 1 today between these two guys. It's not the first game of the stream. It's not the first game of the day for MBL, but it is the first game of the day for Jordan. Jordan here playing in the blue trunks will be playing as the Huns. MBL will be playing as the Bretons. We will wait for a brief pause in the action, then we'll rock and roll in game number 1. Jordan's here, so let's play his emote, and let's see what you guys think about this.
What? This is amazing.
I told you.
Wow. This is much more fun.
Oh, really?
Oh, amazing.
According to Wesley Snipes, always bet on black. Oh man, what a great line. Well done, Tim. Well done, Tim. We've got Jordan and MBL.
Well, I prefer kids.
Coming at you live. Brief pause in the action is now over, and Mr. Jordan 23 has begun chopping away once again. So, blue player Jordan will have Huns. Always nice to get Huns on Arabia. Not quite as big of a power civ as maybe they used to be. They're not quite as OP as they might have been over AOC civs in general, but still a very strong civilization. Blue player is going to have a little structure actually on the front. Doesn't look like much, but he could wall this if he wanted to in the mid-game. Woodline on the top of the map is decent. Woodline here on the back is quite good, I would say. And off to the left isn't bad either. Some gold in the back pocket for the J-Man, and some structure to work with in the mid-game. Not a map you can wall early, but probably a map you can wall in the mid-game, and maybe Hun's meta could work well. I mean, you got back gold, you got back berries and back wood. Just straight up to scouts, I don't see any problem with it, but we'll see what Jordan decides to go with. As I said, he's been playing better lately. He's been really looking strong after he's not talking as much on stream. I feel for him, man. It's hard to talk on stream and play games. It's hard. I would be 2K if I... no, just kidding. On the other side, we will see the green player MBL playing as the Bretons. 5 vills on sheep, just like the old-fashioned way. Britons with that sheep gather bonus. MBL is often going forward to steal a couple resources in early games, but we haven't seen him laming too much today. Green player will have some back gold to work with as well. Decent back woodline, back berries. Woodline on the front will have deer really close to his TC. Those deer are begging to be pushed into the town center. Also, according to Wesley Snipes, what's the IRS? Wow. Tim, I gotta say, man, you're on it today. You're on it. Wesley Snipe jokes hit me at home. I love me some Wesley Snipes. Wish he paid his taxes, man. Let's see. According to Wesley Snipes, some MFers are always trying to ice skate uphill. Oh shit, is that a Wesley Snipe? Oh no, MBL. MBL, don't. MBL, don't lumber camp this wood line. Come on, bro. There's 5 trees here. Oh, it's a house. Jesus, man. I was looking at that like, oh god, is that a lumber camp? No. All right, Killer Bee smoking crack over here, unfortunately. Anyway, MBL's map continued. We'll have extra gold piles out in front of that wood line on the front, still looking for his own sheep, which Vivi, or rather Jordan, is actually going to find first. MBL is not going to find those sheep, and Jordan is going to split them into 2 directions for the moment. Maybe he gives them back. Maybe he runs them to the corner back T style. I thought that was a lumber camp. I would have lost my shit if that was a lumber camp. Pro lumber camp indeed. Pro caster, you could say. Guy doesn't know the difference between a lumber camp and a house. That would be good for my tombstone when I die. He was a nice guy, but he could not identify the difference between a lumber camp and a house. Okay, so 16 villagers for each side. MBL still powering forward with the Bretons. I still haven't really thought about what his map is and what he's going to do. He did have 3 vills on wood early, but I do see a 4th one there, and I do see a barracks coming. 17 villager point for him. That's the point in the game where you could be going for a drush. We'll see. Maybe MBL is going to send a few villagers over to gold permanently. But if he takes this 10 gold, might not be men-at-arms. Yeah, 2 vills going over, so I suppose it's a men-at-arms play for him. That barracks was started early, but I guess it should be finished a lot earlier if he's actually going to go for the drush. Ice Skating 1 is from Blade. Oh, I gotta see that. Maybe that goes on the soundboard. We gotta listen to that after the match. MBL does grab 10 gold here and actually did send 2 Vils out, but it looked like he might have accidentally done that. Now he's sending another villager out, mining gold from a distance, and I still don't really know what he's up to. For now, it is 1, 2, 3, 4 militia, 5 militia for MBL that have been queued. He still hasn't gone for Loom, so he's going to need to mine a lot more gold from distance if he's going to get it done. But it could be a 5 militia drush from MBL. It's at least winding up to be a 5 militia play from the green player, who adds in a barracks, or rather a mining camp now, and continues to pump out Vils. It is the 22nd villager coming out now for MBL. 23rd is on the way, and I think he's going to build a few more before all is said and done. Spent a lot of food on militia. We see Britons going for the militia play, I think, more than many other civs in pro games. We see Britons going for that like the true drush. They're one of the few civs that you actually see it kind of often from. Usually that drush comes with walling, or it comes with a quick play into archery ranges, but MBL right now doesn't seem to really have the economy for either. Not sure what his plan is in the long term, but for now it is going to be 25 villagers at minimum before he clicks up. On the other side, Jordan has been keeping an eye on MBL, and he does see the 3 militia. He was watching them with his scout. He does not see the next 2, but he might see them right now. Jordan will find those other 2 militia now, and he's going to see the writing on the wall. Blue player gets in some damage, but both guys will be microing away. Jordan's on the way to the feudal age, and he is going to have 3 villagers moving over to gold. I thought it would be quick into scouts for Jordan, but that might not be in the cards. He is moving over to gold, as we said. He does not have more militia coming, but he can't afford it. He might do that once he mines a little gold, but let's keep an eye out. Green player rolls in with all of those militia, but Jordan so far has done a good job to wall out any sort of real aggression on this side. Blue player with more quick walling is pushing toward his TC, and I don't see a whole lot of hope for MBL's 5 militia drush to do too much. Don't want to speak too soon, but Jordan doesn't see it doing much either because he's starting to walk forward. So, MBL is going to have to rely on Jordan maybe eating one of these berry bushes all the way down. That's his only real hope. This one's on 9 total food. Blue player might bail his opponent out if he eats through this bush, but MBL is not close enough to take advantage of it. Jordan has finished the berry bush. He has to be careful here. This is the only chance of that drush doing damage. Another palisade comes up for blue, and I guess he's quite okay. MBL's on the way to feudal age. He's on 27 Vils. Could be a drush fast castle from him. He is over onto gold already. Blue player gets into MBL's walls. MBL can finish the walls now, and does, just in time to stop those militia from getting in. Blue player is going double ranges immediately as Huns, and continues to wall toward the TC. MBL's invested a lot, and he's got nothing back for it yet. But it still could happen. Maybe the green player can find a way to finagle a little bit of damage out of this situation. 5 militia, MBL Huang. Also, chat overlay seems broken. I blame the MF. Chat overlay seems broken as well, huh? 5 militia, MBL. Is it full-on broken? All right, well, I'll have to keep an eye on this. What does it say? What's the most recent? We'll work on it. For now, the green player is putting some pressure on a palisade. Jordan really shouldn't let him in here, but, pathing can always screw you up. Jordan does finish a berry, and boy, he gets a new palisade down just in time. MBL still has not broken the walls, but Jordan has now overchopped this wood line on the left side, and he is going to let those militia in by the looks of it. Green player's scout will block, and a really nice bit of positioning from MBL. Jordan is going to have a couple of little green men running into his eco, and after such great walling, MBL's persistence pays off. He's going to kill a villager here, continuing to block with the scout. Blue player's coming back with archers, is going to try to start to clean this out. He does have 4 villagers on stone as well, is towering up on MBL's side of the map, so Jordan's been busy, although MBL gets in. Jordan has been pretty busy getting some archers going and some towers. Blue player's got 1 or 2 archers out. We'll have to continue to build them forward. Man, another quick wall fail for Jordan, unfortunately. This villager is not going to make it home for Christmas, is she? Getting blocked by the scout, taking more damage. She's going to go down for cheap. Blue player comes back with some fresh Vils to try to put some more damage down, but he needs a few more archers, I think, in order to finish that off. Jordan's got a few archers on the front, does still have those militia alive, and he does continue to build forward towers. Fortified berry bushes for the win. Well, Jordan did a very nice job on that front area, but unfortunately overchopped this tree. Maybe a good lesson from MBL there. I mean, sometimes when I build 5 militia and they get walled out, I feel so defeated inside. But MBL just staying persistent, staying around, waiting for his opponent to make a little mistake, and did pounce on him. Jordan is a couple of vills behind because of it, and he's probably a little bit behind in the match. He did take away that front wood line of MBL. MBL's outposting up the side. And for now, the green player is microing back and taking down his opponent's forward military. Jordan needs to get out of dodge with those last couple of archers. He may go for more towers when he can afford it, but he can't afford it yet. The blue player can't afford it yet. Archer numbers are in MBL's favor, and, well, military numbers are in MBL's favor.
1 cent each for all my bad lumber camps. Feels bad, man.
Thank you, Tim. 1 cent for each bad lumber camp, indeed. Thank you very much. Thanks for the donation. 1 cent each for all. Oh, it's like a swear jar here in the channel. God, I hope I never have to put a swear jar in the channel. Oh, I'd have to put my whole salary in there. Or a bad lumber camp jar. That would be even more expensive for me. MBL's got the 3 vill advantage. He did lose that front lumber camp, but like I was saying, I think he's okay. Using his militia to soak up a little damage as he pushes closer to Jordan's base. It is +1 for both guys, and that is the only archer upgrade we're seeing. MBL on top of the hill, but Jordan with the numbers. MBL could put his militia out in front of this group and soak some damage, but he's busy microing on top, and it looks like he's ready to go back. Jordan has a few villagers as a disadvantage, so the onus is kind of on him if he wants to try to catch his eco up. Right now he is floating really nothing. Does have enough for another tower, and he might build it soon on the front. Those 2 vills that were on the front, they're still here. They're hiding behind the tower. MBL's eco is pretty similar. He's taken a little bit of stone as well by the looks of it. No, he just spent a tiny bit on an outpost. Hasn't built any towers yet. Still walling up on the right side. MBL's going padded archer armor, and he's got actually a few less units than his opponent. Couple skirms out for the green player. He's still rolling around looking to find some damage. Blue player's going to bring his army and his villagers into one place and try to tower up the front. Jordan putting the pedal to the metal and staying aggressive here in the mid-feudal age. He's going to come forward with his army and a couple of vills and try to push MBL back a bit. MBL does have +1 defense. Jordan does not. These 2 villagers on the front, though, are doing a nice job to run interference, and I think Jordan's okay. Continuing to reinforce archers 2 by 2, is hanging out on top of the hill, and is slowly dwindling these numbers. MBL gets some really nice trades, though, if you consider all things. MBL skirms here doing a pretty good job to put some damage down. Blue player looks to be going back with those vills. Jordan's going padded archer armor now, so he looks to be staying aggressive. He's going to continue double range archer production. He's not thinking about saving resources or switching to skirms for now. Continued archer production. Once he has padded archer armor, he can try to push back out, maybe with a meat shield in front of this group. Could add a stable, and is adding a stable already. MBL's going skirms, so Jordan will add in a stable. No surprise there. Green player is adding a couple archers of his own now to go along with the skirms. Is doubling down on that back mining camp and does have enough farms. How many does he have? Yeah, he's got 13 farms, I think. Going wheelbarrow. Plenty for him to be able to click up to the Castle Age soon. Spending some food on skirms, but is now transitioning over into archers, so the food number should rocket right up for Jordan. For MBL. He is taking damage from Jordan's first scout out here, but he's dwindling a lot of those archers. In an ideal situation, you find this group with a couple of scouts, but in a not ideal situation, that group finds your archers, and then you're trying to backpedal and do some damage with the scout. First scout here for Jordan is out, but man, we saw probably 5-6 archers die in that little scuffle. And Jordan is really running out of momentum. MBL will click up to the Castle Age here in just a moment. His last villager pops out, and he does click up. Jordan's clicking wheelbarrow. Didn't build a ton of scouts, but did build 1, now a second. And, of course, the extra wood that he put into that... actually, maybe that's a third. I see a dead one here. Maybe building 3 scouts. That will slow down his eco a bit and slow down Jordan's uptime. So MBL's on the way to castle. He's going to add in another range on the front. Jordan's still got a tower here that he never finished building. He can delete that and probably afford a castle of his own, maybe back at home in between these two ferns to protect his own economy. MBL's still putting pressure on Jordan. He's going to have to tower up at home. Blue player is, I think he forgot about this front tower. He had 2 vills here that were close to coming over to build it, and I think he forgot. I think he forgot to delete it, and he might continue to forget for another several minutes of game time. Jordan gets up a defensive tower in between those 2 resource piles. He does have a little bit of a feudal army to work with, but MBL's got a bigger army. MBL's mostly skirms, but he's got enough archers mixed in there to make the scouts a little less attractive for Jordan. Green player is going for archers up the wazoo, so Jordan probably can't run into MBL's eco and do damage. By the time he gets there, which he's going for it, MBL will have Castle Age, and he will probably have crossbowmen and bodkin arrow. Especially before this army makes it, they're going to take a long time getting there. So it's a great spot for MBL all of the sudden. All of the sudden, the Britain's player will get that extra range since he hit the Castle Age. He will get an extra damage and range from bodkin arrow, and crossbowmen's on the way. Interestingly, MBL sends everything forward and actually leaves himself a little open at home. I take back what I said. I thought MBL could hang out with his units in defense and be quite fine, but he's going to go forward. Going to play a little bit with fire here. A little quick walling now from MBL. 3 TCs on the way. Green player continuing to quick wall up his eco as best he can, and that, my friends, is how you quick wall. Oh, sweet Jesus, that's how you quick wall right there. Blue player, though, is coming over with the archers. Jordan is going to try to twist the knife. He can kill all these vills on this side wood line, but he's more interested in running in. Boy, I don't know about this. I think Jordan probably could have gone and grabbed those vills and been happy. Castle Age still coming for Jordan. MBL is rolling into Jordan's eco. Looks like he's not doing too much damage yet. Some defensive towers up from Blue. Blue player's Castle Age is still coming. These couple vills are running to the corner of the map. They could be dead meat if Jordan can find them. For now, Jordan is trying to run to the corner of the map as well. He's just trying to hide these units so that he can get up to the next age. It's 3 crossbows from MBL, so not enough to really win this side. Blue player continues to hold this economy hostage. 4 villager advantage for MBL is going to grow on the 3 TCs that he's got. Jordan adds in 2 stables and now a market. So by the looks of it, Jordan will be able to go into some knights. Jordan is not going to have cav archer production going. He's going to have knight production going. He's going to try to push back this small group of crossbows inside of his eco. These couple of units, I guess, are going to wither on the vine. Not going for the crossbowman upgrade now. Just hanging with the +1 defense bloodline scouts and knights coming. Here comes crossbowman. Crossbowman makes sense with this many units. I would have been surprised if he didn't go for it. Still, that foundation of the tower, hey, lycanthropy, sits in front of our faces here. Jordan forgetting about this. I think he went a little blind to the fact that he started to build, or he queued a tower to be built here. I think he forgot about Dre. Unfortunately, that tower could be stone that he could use at home. Jordan on 105 stone at home. Does have a siege workshop down inside of his base. Does have the ability to build another TC, at least as far as stone goes. But it looks like he's really, really intensely into knight production right now. Blue player's rolling around with a couple of crossbows. He does have a much smaller military than his opponent. MBL's got 40 total crossbows. Jordan still doesn't have too much to say to that. MBL's going pikemen as well to go along with it, so it seems he's identified what his opponent is up to. And he's going to hold Jordan's feet to the fire. MBL's booming. He's 16 villagers above his opponent on 3 TCs. Jordan on 1 TC. The time to run in with knights and maybe find some damage could be coming to a close pretty soon. We shall see if it can go down, but pikeman's on the way. A 4 TC is on the way. The green player has a couple of pikes, a couple of crossbows in his base, but his main army seems to be rolling forward toward the front. I think MBL is going to finish this game. He's grabbing ballistics. Jordan has spent a little bit on knights. Behind those knights, though, he's built a half-decent economy. Maybe Jordan could go imp sooner. No, he's going to add TCs and flesh out that eco. Not a whole lot of positive things to say about Jordan's spot, unfortunately. Maybe... Oh, he did delete that tower on the front now. You know, maybe if he gets a few more towers in and does a little more damage, that could have been useful. Did take away one of MBL's wood lines and an extra gold pile. But that has yet to really hurt MBL too much. Jordan The big fight was here. MBL had about 10 skirmishers here. Jordan was transitioning scouts, and MBL somehow kills 5 or 6 archers before the scouts really showed up to do any damage. So Jordan lost a lot there, and now he's transitioning his army over to knights. MBL, though, is ready for him, and I guess those couple of factors added in together make it a loss for Jordan. At least at the rate things are going, it's not going great for him. MBL taking stone like a madman on top of the hill. He probably wants to castle this area to defend his own base. He could go for a castle drop if he can kill this group of knights. Ballistics is in for the green players, so Mr. Jordan, who does have bloodlines and +2, is not going to be able to push this area just yet, or maybe not ever. More crossbows out than you could shake a stick at with 8 range. 1 mango coming in, though. The blue player looking for a hero shot, and we will get a little bit of splash damage in. Mango goes down, and that group of knights goes back, and yeah, we keep waiting for the world to change. Jordan's going to need to pull something out of his sleeve. He's going to have to pull a rabbit out of his hat. 2 TCs, archery range coming down for the blue player, maybe transitioning into a little bit more of a elite skirmisher sort of a build, I guess. Hasn't shown me anything yet, but he's going bodkin arrow and another archery range. Is going to receive some pressure right now. MBL POV, don't see the FOU. MBL's point of view doesn't see the FOU. What's the FOU? Fog of war? Fog of... FOU. Anyway, MBL is still rolling forward with these crossbows. Could take a big mango shot. We'll wait and see. And Jordan really needs something positive to happen, but he doesn't have any mangonels on the way. Jordan's getting some elite skirms in. But that, of course, is going to be expensive on his food eco. 300 food, 600 gold in the bank for him. MBL on the other side can click imp any moment. Oh, he can't see the foundation of the tower. Yeah, indeed. No, MBL definitely couldn't see the foundation. I was just thinking that Jordan forgot about it for a while there. There was about 10 minutes of game time that I was thinking, man, if Jordan could delete that tower, he could use that stone back at home. But it probably doesn't actually matter. Yeah, MBL couldn't see it. It wasn't started yet. But, yeah, we're on the same page. Crossbows rolling in, microing away from MBL. Jordan's running in and putting down some damage. Siege Workshop coming for the blue player. A little bit of a trap building there, I suppose. Archers are getting closer to the back of this wood line where they will take a lot less damage. Jordan gives the GG well played. He just can't kill this army. MBL is already halfway up to imp. Jordan doesn't necessarily know that, but he knows that his opponent is getting the better of him. I don't think Jordan can even win this fight, and I think he knows it. And, of course, he also knows that MBL's got the extra TCs back at home. So, a nice win, rail to rail from MBL. I think he surpasses 2,600 with this win, but let's take a look. Let's take a look, boys. MBL will... Drum roll, please. I think we have a little bit of reconfiguring to do. Give me just 1 second here, guys. Just got to pop out of here, move this around, open up the game browser, and we can see what MBL's new rating is. MBL's new rating, drum roll please, will be 2597. So still needs one more win to surpass, to cross the 2,600 threshold. We got another game coming our way in just a moment, so be ready for that, guys. Coming our way just now. Let me quickly add in a little scoreboard action, because why not? MBL will grab a win, so we'll put him on the right side here. Oh yeah, and I got to see if I can get the chat looking properly as well in this game. MBL versus Jordan. No, not Tato Error Jordan, but just Jordan. And it will not be the TOA. It will just be some fun... Just some fun matches. All right, let's also take a moment, since we are ready for the next game to start now. Let's take a moment to show you the overlay, and I can fix the way the chat looks. Sorry about this, guys. Still so many problems left here to work with. I believe this is supposed to be 221. Let's see what that looks like. Chat should be refreshed now, which is okay. Yeah, maybe it's that one. think that's going to be the number next time somebody says something. I think we will see it properly. And, oh, we gave MBL 3 points, and he only won 1 game. Well, let's fix that, too. My apologies, lads. Gonna figure it all out here today. I went out today and bought a new router to try to pick up another mobile network. The one I was using before has started to lag a lot. Unfortunately, so far, no luck on that new network. It seems to be just as bad. Let's see. All channels with the same game. Hey, King Marv. Hello, Mr. Fiend. So close. As soon as MBL hits Imp, it's over anyway, I think, says Bosch. Yeah, indeed. MBL doesn't see the foundation. Jordan only worth 5 points. Hey, Killer B, you have such a good grip on words. Are you by any way a literature major or something like that? Nope, nope. Thanks, Roxark, for the compliment. I guess I don't have any real clever thing to say. You put me on the spot now. Now I feel like I need to say something clever, but I got nothing. Thank you for the compliment, but no, I'm just a mere biologist. Just a biologist who likes to talk. Let's see. Jordan versus MBL. Game number 2 is upon us. MBL really controlling game number 1 pretty nicely from the mid-feudal age onward. Maybe you could say he had Jordan a little bit over a barrel in that game. Jordan not really having a lot of chances to win after maybe minute 20, maybe 15, 20. This game will see Jordan as the Incas, sending 4 villagers over to this wood line on the left. Blue player's got a back wood line as well. It's not that great. Back berries for him. Hill to the, north of his map. Main gold for Jordan is on the front. This hill is a little awkward for him, but maybe we see the barracks on top of that hill. Maybe we see military buildings blocking off here because, frankly, you just can't leave your gold at the bottom of a hill, even if it's a small hill like this, unguarded. I would expect some buildings here from Jordan, but let's keep an eye out for that. A little bit of structure to work with, but ultimately it's a pretty open map, and it's not great. Not too bad, but not great. MBL is playing in the green trunks, and he's forward already, and he's ready to steal Jordan's boar. Or is he? MBL, wow. I've seen it all. That's the first time I've seen MBL not steal resources. He's hanging just out of frame. He could have tried to run in and block that Vil and lame him there, but nope. MBL's forward, but not laming yet. I suppose we're at the 16 Vil point, so it's not necessarily an ultra early time to come forward. It's not that early at all, but usually when MBL can steal something, he does. That is not the case here. Mr. MBL coming in at 25.97, waiting for those last 3 points. He can get them from Jordan here with a win, and that will put him up above 2,600. I think he'll be 26.02 if he wins this match. MBL had 3 Vils on wood early, is sending another Vil over now, but does look to be going up quickly, and maybe it's a scout build for him. I don't know. So far, it does not look like he's going for anything like men-at-arms, and, Turks into scouts seems to make sense, but let's keep an eye out. One more villager at least coming for MBL. Powering down the food on that board. Does still have his sheep under his TC. I didn't see if he pushed deer, but I would assume he did. I assume he pushed 1 deer. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh, look at this deer trapped inside the woodline. I guess not on the deer after all. MBL going loom at 707. Jordan going loom at 708. Both guys look like they're going to click up on 20 villagers. Jordan is going to have a little shortage of food, which will give him a couple seconds of TC idle, I suppose, at the end here of the Dark Age. But he ultimately clicks up at a pretty early time, and he's ready to stand toe-to-toe to MBL in the next stage. Jordan had 4 Vils on wood early, but sometimes when you find your wood line a bit late, you have to do that anyway. Blue player is sending 4 more Vils out to add in another lumber camp by the looks of it. And I think he's just going to keep fleshing that eco out a bit. 4 Vils moving over to gold as well. MBL continues to stand on the foundation of that mining camp, trying to annoy Jordan as much as possible, and boy, is he doing a good job. At least I would be annoyed by this. That scout is really, he's really bucking the bejesus out of Jordan. Nice little bit of idle time MBL caused there. He did take some damage, though, losing a lot of HP on that scout. Eagle Warrior will chase this scout away, and MBL will, after all, have militia coming. I thought with his uptime and the fact that he wasn't on gold that MBL was going to go for the men-at-arms play, but I was wrong. MBL may be going for the 5 militia drush again. MBL went 5 militia last game, got a win with Bretons. We will see him with 4 militia actually this game. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. On the other side of the map, we've got a barracks coming from Jordan. Jordan is, for now, not showing us much of anything. Maybe it's an archer play for him? Certainly if Jordan can find his opponent's build, he's not going to want to go Eagles. That's for damn sure. MBL on the way to Men-at-Arms. Jordan is adding in what? Archery range on the front. Going to wall in that villager as well. And he's going to prepare for another Men-at-Arms versus Archer sort of a moment. I guess last game MBL just went militia. He didn't go Men-at-Arms. But this game he'll have a little more beef behind this army, even though just 4 units. MBL's really good 1v1, I think, compared to team games. Well, MBL is, everybody's a little better in 1v1 rating than team games because of the ladder size. But I know what you mean. I think I agree. MBL is, he's certainly among the very, very best 1v1 players. I would say he's in the top, maybe he's in the top 10 or 12 team game players. I don't know. It's hard for me to say. It's hard for me to say because all the big events, the teams are always clustering together. So you never get to see what MBL might be able to do in a different situation. But yeah, I'd agree with that. Certainly in the conversation to be one of the top 4 players in 1v1. He was, after all, at the last big LAN tournament. He was one of the 4 players there. But, yeah, probably not in the top 4 in team games. Fair enough. Those 4 men-at-arms are roaming in to do a little bit of damage, keeping a couple villagers busy. Blue player's adding in archers again. He's adding in a tower on that front. Gold, and I'm a little bummed that those archery ranges aren't on top of the hill, but you got to do what you got to do. Jordan is making a little bit of a U-shaped defense here for his forward gold, and he's going to have a tower there as well. So that area should be safe and sound. Jordan about to overchop the woodline on that top edge. Not again, man. Is he almost chopping it over again? Jordan doesn't quite overchop there, but I think that maybe this new panel was the one you were worried about. Good observation. It's always last game in overchopping was the difference. Well, it was one of the differences in MBL getting in some damage. Look at this. MBL doubling back with the men-at-arms, trapping one of Jordan's archers and killing it. Jordan continues to put down damage and hit MBL's men-at-arms, but MBL continues to buy time. That little move where you keep the unit that your opponent is attacking running and you send the other couple of units back is a really nice way to earn down an archer. It's hard to get one in a different way. So a nice little maneuver from MBL to keep this going, sending his men-at-arms to the top of the hill. One of them is now dead. Others are in trouble. Jordan continues to pump out archers without any upgrades yet. Back at home, MBL is going for a couple of, well, 1 defensive towers, 4 villagers out on stone, a 2nd defensive tower as well for MBL. And so far, his military number is still just 3. 3 military. 2 of them are these men-at-arms on the front, and 1 of them is this scout in the back. Jordan, interestingly, transitions into some Eagle Warriors, so he's not going to stick with archers all game long. Going to try to send MBL a little bit of a curveball. MBL did scout these first 2 coming forward, but they could still get in some damage. Those units are headed toward the eco of green, and we'll see if they get there in time. Watchtower coming down for the green player MBL. That's his 3rd one already, spending all that stone that he's been soaking up. Maybe MBL wants to get a castle and wants to go Jannies, but at least for now, he's having to spend a lot of stone to keep his economy safe. Jordan's first couple Eagles are here, and his archers should be on the way soon. MBL with no army left on the map to do much of anything. Blacksmith coming for Jordan, so maybe we'll see fletching as well. That's coming also. Blue player is going to come back and give this a go. MBL's got some towers and some walls up. So far, Jordan's best chance might be to dive in with a couple of Eagles. Not sure if he's going to get there in time, but here come 2 Eagles at least to give it a try. Archers are working their way in from behind. They're going to find a villager here to harass, and they're going to get in before the wall is finished. So if you're cheering for Jordan to upset MBL's 2,600 bid, well, at least there's something here to cheer for. Tower's going to put down some damage. Jordan running a zigzag pattern to try to avoid all that arrow fire. For now, keeping those units alive and does continue to congregate units on the front of the map. MBL continues to tower up, but of course he's spending all that stone as fast as he's gathering it, which kind of makes Jordan's position not so bad. I think Jordan's in a fine spot here. Jordan coming with 2 villagers forward. He will drop a tower down on MBL's gold pile, and this could be no bueno for our buddy in green. He's dropping a market of his own. MBL is already with plenty of stone to click up, but he will lose that front stone pile, which will make things a little more awkward for him. Green player's going to get this market up. He's going to buy his way up to castle, and he's going to try to push this back. But Jordan's aggression now, grabbing another villager, has been very well formed. Nice timing. That's why I love a best of 21. Hey, Dracon. Really active players now. You have to be Rusty Harrow, who did pretty good in a show match versus MBL. Well, there's Viper, Leary, then Doubt, Hart, Nikov, Yo, Vivi. I put all of those above MBL. Nikov, Yo, Vivi. I have to think about that. Certainly, when it comes to a casual 1v1, MBL's done very nicely versus many of those players. You take the Viper out of the equation. But yeah, I think you're right. Your point is good. There's a lot of heavy hitters. MBL will lose another Vil here, and while we talk about how good he is, we'll actually see him losing some ground. More towers coming from Jordan. This tower is really nice and nicely walled in. The next tower is quite nice as well. MBL's going to be ready for it with one in defense, but the green player continues to spend everything he gets for stone to try to keep his position alive. Jordan gets into the back of this eco, and although MBL is going castle and he's going fletching, he's not in a good spot in this game. He has not found the inner piece.
You're an idiot.
Oops, that's not the right one. Didn't mean to call him an idiot.
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
I need more practice on this soundboard. MBL searching for his inner piece. He's continuing to tower up the entire map, sending more villagers out to stone. Maybe someday we will see an army for MBL. Right now it's 3 military for him. I don't know where those units are. He's got a barracks. That's all I can see. When I hit S, nothing happens. A couple of men-at-arms here on the side. Jordan runs in, continues to knock down Vils. Great harassment, can camp under this tower because MBL has nothing to push him away. Jordan's on the way to Castle Age also. And like I said, MBL is not going to be at peace on the inside. Hits the Castle Age now. Green player is going to go for what? Well, no gold left for him. Continuing to tower up, continuing to try to take resources. But Jordan continues to roll his way around the map with villagers and a couple archers and a couple eagles. He's now taking away MBL's extra gold in the north. Well, kind of. And he's certainly putting harassment onto this stone pile. Pretty nice game from Jordan as he loses his ability to camp under that tower. He can still get out of dodge if he identifies this soon, but he will lose those archers by the looks of it. Those archers are going to start splitting and working their way out. A little bit of action from them. One will survive. No, none of them will survive. Green player's on 34 Vils. Jordan will hit the Castle Age now with a 7 villager advantage. He's still got these Vils on the front that are a little bit caught in no man's land, but maybe more towers to come from Jordan. Jordan's going crossbowman and Bodkin arrow. He is going to have... what's he got in the bank? Jordan's got food in the bank and a little bit of gold to work with. Of course, his economy is much less harassed, and he's got 20 total military. 20 military. I see some archers here. I see some archers in this tower, I believe, as well. Now crossbows. A couple crossbows harassing MBL on the backside also. So the blue player is doing a great job to spread his crossbows here and there, identifying nicely that MBL does not have an army. Identifying very nicely that my opponent is trying to defend with towers. So I'm just going to camp in a couple of areas. He's taken away 3 lumber camps already. And there's not a whole lot of bright side for MBL. I'd like to be Mr. Brightside here, but I don't really see a whole lot of great things. That TC sucks, but I think it's kind of necessary. There's not a piece of flat ground for that to go on. Maybe here. I don't know. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. Blue player continuing to build up, 47 total Vils for Jordan. MBL on his side of the map is on 1 TC, adding in a siege workshop to deal with some of those towers. Isn't that ironic? MBL has built 10 towers, I guess, maybe 8 towers. Jordan has just built a couple, but they've been really nicely placed, and that's going to force a siege workshop from MBL, and it's going to put him further and further behind. He needs those resources to build up his economy, but still just 1 TC for our buddy in green. One TC play for MBL as he continues to tower up the map as best he can. Jordan is ready to make a push with a couple of siege units of his own. They will come in the flavor of rams, and we'll see if he can, I don't know, maybe he can come in and harass this gold. MBL will try to defend with some mangoes, I suppose. Jordan's villager number will continue to increase. So MBL's going to need a really, really positive couple of minutes here to make something happen, or else he's going to get swamped out of this. Jordan taking stone like a madman, ready for a castle drop as well. I suppose a castle drop on this front area might be really annoying. Of course, I'd play horrible if I didn't play for 1 year, but for example, Hera plays after a month. He still does amazing. Yeah, Hera is a very interesting case. Does seem to be able to take a break and then come back and do damage. A couple of eagles here from Jordan are going to be in the right place at the right time, aren't they? He's going to find that mangonel, and he might chase it down. Those couple of eagles are on pretty low HP. Couple villagers coming into the mix for MBL. But Jordan is going to identify that there's a mango out, and he's almost going to be able to kill it. Almost is only good in horseshoes and hand grenades, but more eagles coming forward for the blue player to try to put down more damage. MBL has not repaired his mango, and he is going for a castle drop on top of the hill. Jordan's running in with some more units. He will kill the mango, maybe. Let's see, does he get it? He doesn't get the mangonel, and Jordan comes in with a couple of archers, but unfortunately he's going to have to wait. Jordan wants to climb this hill and build a castle. Okay, he's going to step back a tad. Those villagers look like they were going to walk all the way up this hill. Jordan so far microing well to avoid the big mango shot. His first couple rams are in at the base of the tower, but they are already going to be countered by the mango. Good to have them here to soak up some arrow fire while the castle gets up to 53%. Jordan will lose a vill or two in the process, but I think his castle will go up. Jordan sending the crossbows around to the right side. It's a game that has been in the blue player's favor for a while, but it ain't over. It ain't over, baby. That's 4 eagles now who have run in to try to kill this mangonel. None of them have succeeded. Castle is up for the blue player, taking away MBL's front gold. Green player is going to need to find some gold somewhere else, and he's going to need to find some coffins. Going to need some coffins for these 5 dead villagers on the right side of the map. Great harassment, great game from Jordan. He's 20 villagers ahead. His castle drop here is good enough, and MBL continues to have trouble. A couple petards on the way for the green player, but he's going to need more than a couple. So even if Jordan can't finish MBL with the towers, that would help Jordan to get late imp. The civ advantage and imp with Incas. Well, Jordan is going to be on the way to imp, I think, earlier than MBL. MBL is building a couple of... Did he build a couple Jannies? He built a couple of petard, or 1 petard so far. I'll keep an eye on that number. I do hear a ram working away on the right side. That is the green player trying to knock down these towers in his base. Jordan, as we might have suspected, is on the way to imp. And of course, once he gets to imp, he can start to treb down this front castle. Jordan has 24 military, mostly crossbows for him, but those crossbows were +2/+2. For now, it is crossbowmen still coming 2x2 for the blue player. He's done a great bit of damage with just a couple of crossbows this game. Just about maybe 35 total crossbows that he's built, but he's really set MBL back several times. MBL's on 46 vills back at home, and he's building a couple of petards, he's building a couple of Jannies, he's going to try to push this castle the old-fashioned way. Maybe he's just planning to snipe a mangonel. Thank you very much for the sub, Company of Nooblets. If you want to, I don't know why it doesn't let me let a new sub, because I think it's a new sub. Nooblets is a new, I think. It says has subscribed. I think this is the first month. I don't know why it doesn't let people type a message. Like, I want the robot to be able to speak for everybody, not just resubs. Thanks, Nooblets. That's really nice of you. Thank you for the sub. We will continue to roll forward in this game that it's going to heat up. Couple rams popping out, couple petards popping out. Blue player is going to try to defend his side. MBL needs to knock down this castle in order to hold the top of this hill. His rams are getting closer. He will petard down the castle with a little ram action behind it, and Jordan will lose that area. Imperial Age is in for the blue player. He's still got the 17 villager advantage. He's going to have another castle coming down now on the bottom of the hill, but MBL gets a stay of execution. Absolutely gets a stay of execution with that nice little push. Padded archer armor coming for MBL, continuing to go Jannies. There's still not a lot of hope for him. He does win back the gold pile. But he does continue to have not a whole lot of options for the right side of his eco. All these extra golds for the mid to late game are still well outside of his reach. For now, he's just on life support. But hey, after something positive like that happens, it's hard to GG. 20 villagers ahead is Jordan. He's adding in Trebs. He's going to go Arbalest. Ballistics is on the way for him. And MBL's castle is still going to be under pressure. Green player is going Jannies up the wazoo. He's going to spend it as fast as he can get it and try to make a big castle age play. Going to ram down a couple of Jordan's towers and maybe try to come forward to put down some heat on this group. Has a couple mangonels. Could do some damage to those Arbs. Arbs at the moment with 7 range. Mangoes at the moment with 7 range. Worth keeping in mind, Arbalest working from distance. MBL is going to, it's going to go for it here in Castle Age. Jannies with +1 defense. Trebs are unpacking. The Arbs are spreading out nicely for Jordan. He should be able to hold this position. But, you know, MBL's killed a few Arbs already. Jordan has lost a Mangonel already. Green player is coming in to try to snipe the Treb. And he might just get it. Jordan is taking damage. He's trying to micro around these Mangonels. And he's going to lose a Treb and several Arbs. And what a wonderful engagement for MBL.
It's a miracle I'm alive still. It's a miracle I'm alive still.
I couldn't think of a better drop for this situation. It is a miracle MBL is alive. Certainly not out of the woods yet, but engagement after engagement for the last few minutes has kind of pulled him back into a half-decent spot. Jordan, though, is going to send another army into the back of MBL's base, and there's a hole in the wall. And MBL is going to lose more vills. Oh boy. More importantly, he's going to lose all of this ability to take wood and food, and those couple of eagles could roll in as well. Green player has to resituate the whole economy. Green player is going to, he's going to be a little upset that those units got in so quickly. A little counter raiding coming from the Jannies. Another Treb is out for Jordan with a couple of friends to go along with it. 2 Trebs working together in unison. More archery ranges coming for the blue player. Arbalest, as we said, is done. And we will see 8 range now on those Arbs, 8 range on the Jannies as well. So those 2 units will square off now for a while to come. MBL rolls in and tries to get a couple of big mango shots here onto the Trebs. Will not kill either of them. Green player's coming in with the Rams as well. Jordan is going to do a good job, I think, here to block with a couple of Arbalest, if he needs to even. Mangoing down those Trebs, those Rams rather, should be able to block the pathing of that ram so that it can't get over to the Trebs. Slowly but surely, the green rams are dying and the green castle is dying. Green player MBL does have a couple of Jannies inside of Jordan's eco. 17 villager advantage for the blue player. But, you know, MBL can grab a couple more vills there on the back side. The problem is, while MBL is in the back raiding, the front of his base is starting to look really precarious. The top of this hill is no longer defended. That gold pile is gone. The green player still does not control this gold to the right side of his base. So he is now on market support. He's on market welfare. It's going to go over to stone, but I don't think he has any gold economy. MBL has... No, he's got 7 gold miners. Oh, my apologies. There's a gold pile right here. Main gold for MBL is still alive. My apologies, lads. He will still have a little gold to mine, but obviously losing the top of this hill hurts a lot. Blue player's got a couple of mangoes, or rather a couple of Trebs out, but he's still taking some damage in the back of his economy. Couple Arbs working their way over here for Jordan. Jordan will start to put down some damage on this group. Obviously, the 17 damage of the Jannies is nasty, but the blue player is going to be able to reinforce Arbs and will have ballistics, I would assume. MBL gives the GG, Jordan gives the GG, and MBL's dream of 2600 just got a lot further away from him than he probably anticipated. A nice game from Jordan. Jordan built an army and MBL built towers. MBL's towers were seemingly everywhere on the map, but Jordan was able to sneak in a couple of units here and there, especially the archers that worked their way into the back of the economy to harass this wood line. Were super important units to slow down MBL's eco build. It was one of those builds where I was wondering, is MBL going to go for a couple towers and Jannies? Is that the plan? But the world will never know because, well, he couldn't keep himself afloat. So we will jump out of there and we will jump into here. A little stream live action going, and it's good to have you guys with me. Civ wins, says John T. Well, maybe. Turks is tough. I thought MBL would go for the scout play, But he went with a 4 militia into men-at-arms play. Did not get in any damage this game. Jordan's quick walling was extremely effective, I would say. And, I don't know. When all's said and done, it will be a win for the J-Man. Kind of surprised to see Jordan get a win over MBL in just 2 games. It was a Twitch Prime sub, so you don't get a message. I see. Thanks for your support, Company of Nooblets. If you have something to say, if you want to bash somebody, if you want to spam some emote that you love, you know, grassed out, feel free, man. I will say it out loud for you. Just because I appreciate your support that much. Thanks, buddy. Thanks very much. Let me update the score here. It will now be 1-1 for Jordan. And I was supposed to tell you what happened to the ratings. Let me catch up with everything here. No chances for MBL, says King Marv. Hey, King Marv. Mr. Eagles here as well. I thought Doubt couldn't micro. Dracont. Oh, Anti-Springer. MBL is a tryhard. Well, he's trying to dig himself out of that hole. I get it. I'd be pissed if the enemy wouldn't resign on the spot, says Dracont. I would AoE. GG. He drew 2-2 versus Mibble yesterday. Yeah, I saw a couple of those games. They were really nice games from Jordan. Jordan looking good. Dark Age Public Education. Thank you for the biddies. What's up? Dark Age PE. Gotta love that name. It will be 1 minute left on the spec delay. We will get into Jordan versus MBL. Game number 3 coming your way in just a moment. Thanks for being here, guys. Let's get ourselves mentally prepared. What could help us with this mental preparation? Namaste. Namaste. I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. I don't know. Not really the appropriate thing to play, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Let's get everything started here. I will show you guys the screen I'm looking at. It is going to be 1 game apiece for these 2 lads. It will be Jordan versus MBL on Arabia. 1-1 is the score. MBL left that game 1 with the chance of clicking up above 2,600. He will start game number 3 here well below. Well, you know, not well below. He's closer than I am to 2,600, of course, but he has lost 26 points, I think, from that loss to Jordan. You lose a lot of points when your opponent is a few hundred points less than you, but that's the name of the game. These guys don't necessarily play just for the points, but in my mind, that 2,600 is a really cool bridge to be able to cross over. Okay, Jordan is playing as the Italians this game. You will have some backstone to work with, couple of back wood lines, back berries, extremely wallable map, I would say, on the left side, but the right side here is pretty open, and that's where all the gold is. So, you know, not great. I don't like this hill at all for Jordan. That makes me a little uncomfortable looking at that on his map. This hill on the right could be something MBL exploits, but I think this hill is something that scares me a bit more. Italians player will have close deer nearby, so we can push in a couple of those. And for now, we don't see MBL scout coming forward to lane. So Jordan has a pretty defensible position with the need to just secure some gold in maybe the mid-feudal age. On the other side of the map, MBL will be playing as the Japanese. Japanese player is going to stick with 1 lumber camp and 3 vills on it. So maybe men-at-arms for MBL. 4th villager is coming out for the boar. I'm assuming that the lower-priced eco buildings will allow you to do a 3 villager on wood men-at-arms if you want to. I think it works. I think it works for me, but I don't know. I don't know at the pro level. I'm not going to pretend like I know what MBL is capable of, but I would think that this could be men-at-arms, at least as an option still for him. We'll have back gold. We'll have a pretty wallable map. His wood line is not terribly thick.
Look at that thick wood. Whoa. That's not running out anytime soon.
It's funny, whenever I want to play a sound, the Viper wants to jump in. 2K7 or noob. 2K7 or noob, indeed. It's only one or the other. MBL's got a couple of awkward hills near his left side of his base. Does have his berries on the front. Couple extra gold piles on the front of the map for MBL, so maybe this hill from Jordan is not such a focal point. This would be ugly if you lose that hill, but I think MBL will be more focused on winning his side of the map with these extra gold and stone piles. So maybe it turns out okay. All in all, MBL's got back gold, and then, well, that's the only... He's got back gold, he's got a couple of wood lines that are half decent, but man, everything else is on the front. Not the greatest map for him. Yellow player is headed forward with his scout. That scout will start to roll toward, not much to steal there. Jordan's actually potentially going to block MBL toward the TC with this cheeky little house here. Blue player also coming forward with his scout. It's probably too late in the game for anything to be stolen. Will not be here in time to find that villager luring in the boar. But the blue player will find all those resources on the front of the map and presumably his opponent's berries very shortly. Boom the dummy. Jordan hit 2k7 on the old ladder. Well, Jordan gets... Ooh, could have gotten lame there. MBL lost a lot of HP. Maybe took some TC arrow fire while I was looking away. Jordan's trap might have paid off there. This Vil could have been lamed up, but MBL will let it pass because his scout is on such low HP. Jordan drops the second boar into the town center with 3 Vils on his woodline. Jordan looks to be going up quickly. He's powering down the old food economy. I don't know what the build is going to be, but he's at least going for one more villager, up to 20 total Vils before clicking. Thanks for the follow, Ocard, Daniel FRG, and Ayandas. Those are the last 3 followers. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Looks like we are still in good shape. I think we're still in good shape. Not dropping any frames. Life is good here. MBL Scout, though, is not so good. He will take a little more arrow fire on his way out of this village. And Jordan will continue to boom up a second lumber camp. Jordan will get a second lumber camp down. It does look like a scout build to me, but I don't know. What do I know? Blue player's still roaming around on the front. His scout taking a little damage from his opponent somewhere. Not exactly... Oh, no. I misclicked. My apologies. Scout on full HP will find MBL's forward barracks. MBL is going up for a men-at-arms play. Looks like men-at-arms to me. That barracks is currently going to have a couple militia inside of it. MBL up on 21 villagers. Yeah, and like I was saying, I mean, the cheaper lumber camp and the cheaper mining camp and the cheaper mill, that saves you a lot of wood, and I suppose MBL getting away with 3 Vils on the wood line instead of 4. I know you guys know that, but there's got to be at least one person watching who's like, gonna have their mind blown by that statistic. Oh my god, really? Oh my god. I never even imagined. Okay, Jordan walling in on his side. MBL for the 3rd game in a row is going to go with militia. Jordan for the 3rd game in a row is going to scout it, and he's going to wall it out. Jordan did overchop his wood line in game 1, and it was part of the reason that he lost that game. He defended very nicely in game number 2, and maybe here in game 3, he can repeat that nice defense. Feudal Age is in for the blue player. 2 villagers walk over to drop down a stable. Jordan really should not sustain any damage from men-at-arms alone. If there's a Vil to go along with this, which there is not going to be, archery range coming down for the yellow player. If there isn't a tower to come along with it, those men-at-arms really shouldn't get anything done. But I don't know. I've been wrong before. Roy TikTok. Yo, yo, yo. Checked out how the ladder was when it ended. Both Jordan and the Snake were 2660. Wouldn't surprise me at all if Jordan got 2k7. Overall, RM overall was very important. Equals till the end. Viper was merely 5 points ahead. Well, times have changed a bit. Jordan taking, I don't know. I think Jordan should be going by Jordan 4-5 because he kind of did the same thing Michael Jordan did. He retired in his prime from the game for a little while there, and then he came back a new man. Should be wearing the 4-5 like Michael Jordan did. No more 23. It should be Jordan 4-5. We got to really start a petition for that. I mean, if poetry exists, which I think it does, well, Jordan just needs to embrace that. Anyway, scouts coming out for our poet in blue, our warrior poet, you could say. Sending those first couple scouts forward, trying to block the walling off, but MBL does have a spear here. MBL has switched over to the yellow color, maybe going to channel the skill of that other Norwegian player. Can't remember his name, but... oh yeah, that's right. It's the Viper. Going to channel a little bit of the Viper action with the yellow trunks on. Scouts continuing to come out for Jordan. Continuing to disregard MBL's militia. Those did not get upgraded to men-at-arms after all. We will see archers to follow this up. MBL continuing to wall in. This looked like a wallable map in the onset of the game, and now MBL has decided to embrace what the Lord has given him. Jordan scouts roaming around trying to find some damage. MBL's got 3 spearmen out already, so these 3 scouts will be hard-pressed to find a kill, but they will find a kill. 1 villager dead on the back. Jordan trading 1 scout and about a half of another one for a villager. Probably not going to get in again, so I guess trading these scouts for damage is probably worthwhile for blue. Blue player is getting corralled, but he will just barely slip out of that little concentric circle that the yellow player is making for him. MBL continues to just fight that stable. Skirmishers starting to come out for the blue player. As we said, the scouts are probably going to be falling on deaf ears if you keep making them. MBL is mostly walled in, so those scouts are going to have trouble. Jordan takes his foot off the scout production pedal and starts to put down a couple of skirmishers. So Jordan here is in a fine spot. There's a couple of militia here, which look like they're ready to run under the TC, straight to their death. Blue player is going to be ready for that. His couple of skirms are already out, and for now, he's dealt with the early aggression. MBL's build is a bit stronger as the game goes on. Spearmen full of archers can be a little bit difficult to deal with if you have just skirms, but if you have enough skirms, I suppose it's quite fine. Blue player for now does not have fletching. He will come out and watchtower up his front gold. We talked about Jordan's map early. We talked about the hills that are kind of awkward. We talked about how he's got a great stone, and he's got some good backwood lines and a good berry position, but he needs to earn the gold. And Jordan has earned a little bit of advantage here. He's dealt with the men-at-arms, or rather the militia, and now he's ready to push out and build up that front tower. Boom the Dummy and Drakant exchanging some qualms, exchanging some barbs. Okay, we will see those archers coming forward from MBL. Fletching is on the way. Yellow player is on 11 total military. Couple archers still at home and a bunch of spears out. He's hanging in defense for now, but sending forward a little bit of a feeler attack. 5 archers will roam toward the backside of Jordan's economy. MBL scouting knows that gold pile is, well, on the bottom of that hill, and he looks like he wants to go climb it. Jordan knows that this could come, though, and he's got skirmishers ready and waiting on that side. Again, this is a very nice identification from both players. Jordan has identified that my eco is going to be incredibly safe. He's actually moving over to that stone to replenish the stone from the tower. The only challenge for Jordan in the early game is keeping this front gold safe. So he's towered it, and he's adding skirmishers there. And you know, it's doesn't sound like rocket science, but in the heat of the moment, that's something that players can miss. Not usually pro players, but players like you and me. Players like you and me can miss that from time to time. Jordan identifying what the strengths and weaknesses are of his map, and he's playing a nice little game. MBL, though, is not going to be that far behind. He'll click up to Castle Age soon, and he's got that kind of sustainable archer production thing going. Living the green lifestyle is MBL. It's second range coming for the yellow player now. He will continue to flesh out that army. He is trying to keep that feeler attack going, but will find his opponent is towered up, and Jordan's going to do a good job to corral those couple of units. Jordan's got fletching as well. He's going padded archer armor also. Jordan is going padded archer armor. He's on gold pretty heavily. He will add in a stable, so it looks like skirms full of knights for the J-men. Jordan is going to have a couple of scouts out. For now, they are not upgraded in any shape or form. Those couple of scouts will be roaming around looking for, looking for a small army, just keeping an eye out, like literally scouting on the map. Jordan with a nice pincer attack here to trap these couple of archers from MBL. MBL no longer bothering to eco there, or micro there, because it's not worth it. Jordan's second stable is up. No, is that his first stable? No, second stable. He's been building scouts, Killer Bee. Can't be his first stable. Bloodline's on the way. The blue player will have a couple of beefy knights, beefy-ish knights, soon. Still no upgrades yet. We aren't seeing the defense upgrade on those couple of scouts as they roll forward. Those units are going to head toward MBL's base, and they will find, well, still full walls. MBL's got enough archers here to keep things afloat for a while. Scale barding armor coming for MBL as well, as he adds in a stable at home. MBL as the Japanese. One stable for MBL usually is a red flag to me. One stable is usually a red flag to me. Japanese player, I guess he's going to go down the night line. I guess. More walls coming. Bloodlines on the way. Is this going to be a Cav Archer play? We're going to see Japanese Cav Archers? I don't know what the plan is. Bloodlines is coming for MBL. He will hit the Castle Age in just a moment. I suppose a knight or two to deal with these skirms seems pragmatic. In the ranges, it will be archers. I could dream about Cav archers, can't I? Siege Workshop coming down for the yellow player. Crossbowmen on the way. And we will see continued defense from MBL. MBL is going to be a tough nut to crack here. Jordan will get in a little bit of annoyance, but I don't think he'll kill any villagers too soon. Siege Workshop is denied, which is kind of nice for the J-Man. But for the most part, MBL is probably somewhat happy behind his walls. Jordan continuing to be the aggressor this game, and let's see. Why Onagers? Arbalest, Onager, War, and Imp. For now, it is Bodkin Arrow coming for MBL. Not too much going on in the ranges. He's still taking gold on the back. He is really heavily on gold for a guy with just 2 ranges, but he is focusing on building those gold-heavy knights for now. Yellow player will finish up his Siege Workshop, carrying a 1-villager advantage here in the Castle Age. Jordan on his side of the map will add in a second TC and a third TC. Jordan is using this attack on the front as kind of a holding attack. You know what I mean by that, right? He's just using this army to keep MBL busy, try to slow down some vills, maybe snipe a vill, keep MBL's army in his base. And Jordan continues to fortify that front gold area, that exposed front gold. This TC up on the left side is, I guess it's okay. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I could have done better. Certainly this hill would not be something fun to be fired down upon from, so why not? Why not? Brief pause in the game, guys. We'll take a moment here to catch up with the chat. And I will say hello to Mr. Dupe. Yo, yo, yo. Japanese have full CA. Could be a possibility. MBL going for the bloodlines, going for a couple of knights. For now, those knights are going to do a nice job to probably keep these skirms at a distance. MBL's got a nice combination. You'd rather have crossbows and knights, I think, than skirms and knights. But Jordan here, as we said, his plan is just to keep MBL busy for a little while. These 3 TCs are now up, which makes his economy a whole lot healthier and happier. And maybe the blue player, maybe he can just start to build out some vills. Doesn't have the gold at the moment to keep knight production going too hardcore. Seems to be more focused on the crossbowmen. So we'll take a moment and wait for these guys to unpause their match. A few more knights and MBL will come out of his base, says Rox. Yeah, I think you're right. I agree. For now, bloodlines for Jordan, and that is it. MBL's got bloodlines and +1 defense, and he is going to eat these skirmishers up for breakfast someday soon. Their days are numbered. Let's see. Italians would just go bombards. Why onagers? Win or lose, I see the samurais for the Japanese. Japanese samurais would be nice. Keep in mind, though, that MBL's main gold is still outside of his walls, and his secondary gold is outside the walls as well. He really doesn't have any ability to take gold now, but maybe after he pushes this back with some knights, maybe we'll see the next TC on the front. I don't know. I suppose we'll find out very shortly. For now, we have a brief pause in the action, so I'll take a moment to make sure everything is okay. Hopefully we're still all right. Reconnect to the old Voobly. Like I said, still fighting around with my internet connection here, so we're still figuring it out. I don't usually drop from games, but once in a while we drop from a game. Brief pause in the action, guys. Let me take a moment. Show you my lovely face. And I'll just check around the horn. Maybe we can figure out what's going on out there in the world. Get everything in order. Figure it all out. Let's take a second to figure it all out. Yeah, MBL, I'm checking out his stream right now, is paused in the game. So we got a minute. We got a minute to wait. I was a tiny bit nervous that something went wrong with my connection to Voobly, but I think we're fine. Usually speccing games is fine. Playing games is quite precarious at the current moment for me. It is what it is, man. You got to do what you got to do. This game is going to hopefully spool back up in just a moment, but we'll keep an eye on MBL's stream while we wait. Show you guys what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a pause game from our buddy MBL. Let's see. Thorsten Ho, did Genevieve's crossbows get a bonus versus CA? Drakan says yes. I don't think MBL will go Cav Archers versus anything with 4 legs. Oh, that's a nice way to remember it. I will say, thanks again to Okard. Oh, snap. And Tanner. Tanner has joined this channel. New follower. Feels good, man. Okay, well, now that we know that the game is paused, I think it's fine for us to prepare ourselves mentally for the next stage here. We are going to see this game roll forward in just a moment. Of course, we will see an onager coming from MBL. Spoilers from his stream in just a moment. But we'll have about a minute and a half to wait before we catch up to real time. All right, guys. Well, what do we got? We got the overlay on. We'll take that off. We got our soundboard to keep us busy, I suppose.
That's a bit of a pickle, isn't it?
We got the Viper Pickle.
That's a bit of a pickle, isn't it?
This stream usually goes off without too many pauses, but, you know, once in a while we get a little pause action. It can happen. I think Jordan is, I think he's keeping an eye on his daughter today, if I remember right. So, you know, maybe he's running to a crying baby for a couple of minutes. It is what it is. We can take a moment to sip a little iced tea on this side of things, and I don't know, we'll be ready. What about horses? Ooh, interesting. What about the Gaia horse? Except for boars and wolves and deer, I guess. Yeah. We will see, guys. We'll see if MBL builds a few CA, but for now, it is not even really crossbow production for him. He's just been busy building knights. He does have a mangonel on the way. And the yellow player is going to try to push this back so that he can build out his eco. Every little bit longer that Jordan can keep this going has to feel like a little bit of a positive thing for him. Blue player is going to be able to... he might not be able to keep all 3 of those TCs rolling full blast forever, but a couple minutes of getting a little eco advantage could be nice for him. If you're MBL, I think you're thinking about getting a TC up on the front there, ASAP. Don't think you need a TC back inside your base. That's pretty safe. But we'll see. Keep an eye on MBL's play here. As we continue to wait on a little pause. What about horses? Whiskey for my men, beer for my horses.
I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. I'm just a poor boy,
It feels so nice to hear that. Nobody loves me. That me is so creepy. Okay, let's look around here and see what's going on. Looks like we are still on a pause. Bummer, guys. Well, let's take a second on YouTube and see if we can find, I don't know, see if we can find a drop. We had Vivi's idea for a drop. Oh, look at this. This is what we're looking for. What was it going to be? Not Puff the Magic Dragon, but Imagine Dragons? There has to be a Game of Thrones quote where they're talking about dragons that we can use for a drop. I don't know. I also wanted to get this. This is just creepy. Oh, somebody finally made a mix-up over Reading Rainbow. Did DMX make a Reading Rainbow song? For so many years, guys, I swear I had this idea like 10 years ago that this is such a badass song that you need to rap over it.
butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high.
Let's get it on.
Take a look.
Nigga.
Oh,
My nigga.
jeez, man. Easy with the N-bombs. Damn. Arthur theme song featuring Little John. Okay, so some people had this idea, but DMX himself, I thought he was going to actually rap over it. In the sky,
I can go twice as high. Take a look. It's in a book. A reading rainbow. I can go anywhere. Friends to know and ways to grow.
That's not the way I remember it. That's not very cool. Well, we're always in search of new drops, so we'll keep an eye on that. Still waiting on this wee little pause of ours. MBL is still waiting on it as well. We can see in his stream, unfortunately, that the pause continues. The saga continues. Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang. MBL at the top of the leaderboard for the ladder now, but he dropped actually to 2570 after that loss to Jordan a moment ago. So Yo could inherit co-first place with the Viper if MBL were to lose another match to Jordan. MBL lost about 25, 26 points, I guess, after that previous game. So if he loses another, he's actually going to drop down to what? Maybe fourth place? Maybe where Vivi's sitting. There has to be a good drop that we can make on this side of things.
Nyttigare, godare, snabbare. Ultimate Blend från OBH Nordica. Designing good life.
Snoop Dogg, drop it like it's hot.
Wow, it didn't take Gogan long to start steaming in.
What is it about the produce section?
To me, that's like, wow, you... Wow. Wow.
Wow. Unbelievable.
What?
Sorry for the huge pause, guys. Maybe we need to jump out of this game if it doesn't come back in a few minutes. Snoop Dogg, drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. That's not a bad idea. I'll at least look that one up. You enjoyed jury movies, Killer B? I just finished watching 1957 movie 12 Angry Men. It was great. I don't know. Do I enjoy jury movies? I don't know if I've seen a jury movie. You know what one I have seen? The one with Danny DeVito. What the heck is that one called? My Cousin Vinny. Yeah, I'm old. Okay, looks like the pause is over for MBL and Jordan, so we should get the end of that pause very shortly, I think. Let's see what the game time is here. Make sure I don't have some sort of critical error. Oh, MBL selecting units, 2557. Okay, so this game should unpause in about 2-3 seconds. Should be unpaused now, shouldn't it? It's not Danny DeVito, it's Joe Pesci. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. 12 Angry Men is an all-time classic. Yeah, the pause is over. I don't know why we are not unpaused here. I guess we should reload the game. Let's take a second and reload the game, boys. We are rebooting the match. Get back into this 1v1 2K match versus between Jordan and MBL. Let's see how that one goes. Yeah, start the late joint, power our way through the beginning. We should be good to go right where we left off. Pretty good sparring match so far. I do think Jordan's position was pretty good, but it all depends on how fast MBL pushes back that position. We will jump back in to this match in 3, 2, 1. Devil's Advocate. Am I on the Hollywood Reporter channel? Snoop Dogg, drop it like it's hot. Might have to be. It might have to be added to the board. Let's turn the chat off again. Let's roll our way through the early part of this match and catch up to real time. My apologies, guys. Still working on the old interweb issues. Not going to let it bother me too much. Hopefully you guys won't let it bother you either. It is what it is. Once in a while we'll drop from a game, I suppose. Blue player luring in his boars. You guys know how this went. MBL lost to Scout early. Where we left off was in the Castle Age with Jordan with an army on the front. So we will Benny Hill our way forward until that point. Let's power our way through here. The old Benny Hill. We can play another Benny Hill. Little Benny Hill action for you boys. We will see this game at about the moment we left it in just a second here. We saw MBL's Siege Workshop come up, and we saw that first mango coming out. This is right where we left off. We knew that the yellow player would push this all back with some knights eventually, and now is the time for that push. MBL's going to not only push back the couple of skirms here, he's going to full-on push this army all the way back to Xanadu. Jordan will regroup and try to push again, and MBL will hang out in the middle of the map. Ballistics coming for MBL, still on 1 TC. He's going to have a second TC up now, actually, in the back corner. Jordan's on 3 TCs. He's got a Siege Workshop hanging in defense, and the blue player, for now, is happily booming up back at home. 3 TCs versus 2. Jordan should continue to pull a villager advantage ahead. He's going heavy plow. My apologies. I got mixed up on the name of that upgrade. 3 vills still pumping out at a time for Jordan, going ballistics as we speak. A little mixed army of skirms and crossbows. Jordan's going to walk right toward that mangonel, but will not take that big mango shot to the face. Jordan's scouting the left side of the map to try to find extra resources, as is MBL. For now, the two guys posture around this little hill. MBL hanging out on top of that hill, grabbing a couple of relics, and waiting for the next engagement. I don't think Jordan wants to push that hill yet. Certainly doesn't seem to have the numbers to me. Thumb ring coming now for the J-Man, and I believe we are caught up to real time. Wonderful. Jordan's base looks strong indeed. Why is the speed so fast? We just had to catch up back to where we were. Hello, Burning Sun. Burning Sun. Hot like the burning sun. 3 TCs for Jordan, 12 villager advantage for him. Still rolling around with this army on the front that's not necessarily big and scary, but big enough and scary enough to keep MBL at arm's length. MBL's third TC is now done on the front, approximately where you might have expected it. There are 3 resource piles here, so having a little bit of protection on villagers mining out there makes it a little less of a clandestine mining camp on the front. For now, the yellow player is fine as he holds the top of that hill. Jordan's got that little vill advantage, which MBL will try to work up from behind on. But for the moment, it's going to be Imperial Age sooner for the yellow player. MBL will get Imp, and he will get a castle, and if he wants to go Samurai, he can do that too. Maybe that castle should come up right around here to fortify this hill. Yellow player is in a pretty good spot. He does take a big mango shot to the face there, but ultimately he needs to get his castle up, and if he does, everything can be quite fine. Little dodgeball action going on. Jordan able to avoid the big shot. Will roll in and snipe down this Treb, and will put down some damage on these crossbows as they roll up the hill. Mangonel shot again, not quite landing home, but at least MBL has to dodge around it. Jordan needs to get out of here, though. Jordan's got a couple skirms in the mix, but this castle's going to be done any second, and MBL will fortify the top of that hill. So Imperial Age coming for the yellow player. He's got a nice castle up on the hill. He's got a decent-sized economy on 77. Jordan's got the villager advantage. He will click Imperial Age now, and he'll have 12 extra villagers to, to continue to work away as he works his way up. Blue player has an extra gold off to the left. His other extra gold is on the front of the base in a relatively safe spot still. Maybe we'll see a castle from Jordan on top of this hill also. Maybe not. MBL's going to hit Imp before Jordan can get that castle even started here. So I think it would be a bad idea. I mean, there's going to be Trebs. There will be blood. So I don't know. Forward castle. He's going to put it right where I would have wanted to put it, but man, I don't like it. MBL's going to have a Treb out here, and he's going to be firing over this wood line, I think. Blue player's still sending crossbows around. It's not the end of the world. Jordan will get Imp relatively soon as well, so he can probably fight a little Treb war on that side. Blue player's got the 9 villager advantage that he's had for a while now, and he's going to peel a couple of crossbows off to go harass the right side. It's amazing what 3 crossbows can do. They'll certainly make this wood line a lot less productive, and MBL, not quite reacting right away, is going to lose a couple of vills. MBL will lose a couple of vills, but more importantly, he will have to go establish another lumber camp somewhere else. Yellow players going Bracer, going Arbalest, and we will see Arbs with all the fixins soon. Not seeing a lot of siege yet from MBL. He built 1 mangonel, or 2, I suppose, on top of this hill, but he is going to go for the Arb upgrade. Jordan is on the way up still, so he needs a little more time before he can match his opponent's upgrades, but Jordan is going to add in some siege. Italians player is going to add in some siege, and maybe we'll see a little gunpowder. We'll see. This is a tournament, says Burning Sun. Nope. This is a, as Boom is saying, it's just it's a rated match. These guys are playing for a little bit of rating points, getting a little stronger. So who's got the better imp, says Bosch. My thought is that the Italians player here has a more straightforward imp. He's on his way to Arbalest. He's on his way to chemistry. He's got the siege workshops down, and he will be able to try to fend off the Treb War. MBL as Japanese is going down the Arb line for now, and he's kind of dwindling on Arbs. Is he making a unit switch? I'm not quite sure. I like Italians. I like the ability for Italians. Well, let's think about it a little bit. Italians, you should have the condos to your disposal, but your opponent playing as the Japanese will be able to go samurai if they want. For now, it's Trebs for the yellow player. Blue player does have chemistry still finishing up. Does have the Arbalest basically rocking MBL's world for the moment. Yellow player is... What's the plan here? He's building a couple Arbs here and there, but I don't really see a plan that makes too much sense. More Arbs coming, blue player adding a few more Trebs as well. Treb War continues to roll on. Both guys are going to hang out on their hill, and it's a tale of two cities. Jordan will get bombard cannons coming out now, and they could be quite a nice difference for him. Treb Wars are, well, they're probably a little bit more complicated than when you have cannons out. Blue player might be able to win down a couple of Trebs here, is keeping MBL honest. MBL's castle has not been hit yet. Jordan is trying to focus down the Trebs. Jordan doesn't have quite enough villagers here repairing, so he could lose his castle on top of the hill, but his first two cannons just came out. This is going to be cutting it close. Jordan's castle's going to fall, isn't it? Jordan's castle is going to fall. He's just a couple villagers short of being able to keep that castle up. His cannons will roll in, they'll put down some damage, but MBL will win the castle on top of the hill. MBL's got continued Arb production, so does Jordan. Military numbers are 27 apiece. But the yellow player continues to have all of his Trebs alive. 114 vills for Jordan. His cannons here can be really, really useful, but he's got to be careful. Arbalest firing away at this cannon, already knocking him down, while Jordan's units stand idly by. I like the Italians' late game, but I don't like this situation for Jordan. I don't like this situation so much. Will we see Genovese crossbows? No. I don't think so. Jordan's down to one castle, and there are really not any cavalry out on the map. So, for now, it's just Arbalest on both sides. Jordan is getting leather archer armor now. Oh boy. Oh boy. That seems like a bit late in the game. Blue player's adding in a couple of stables to the north. He will have the ability to maybe pump out a little trash toward his opponent as the game goes on. Does have a couple of bombard cannons out. Does have elite skirmishers full of bombard cannons here. MBL's build seems to mostly be Trebs and Arbs. I don't know how MBL is getting in such a good fight with Trebs and Arbs, but it's working. I would think the cannons would be able to deal with this, especially with a couple of elite skirmishers out in front of them. But so far, MBL holds his side. Does win Jordan's castle for now. Jordan is sending villagers over to the right side of the map to take extra resources as well. Blue player is going to have, well, nothing coming yet from those stables. Ring archer armor coming from Jordan. He forgot a couple upgrades there in the early, well, in the castle age even, and now into imp. But he's slowly beefing up those skirms. MBL will go elite skirm as well. Jordan sending that army over to the right side. Trebs will unpack and he'll start to put some pressure down. Jordan losing that castle is annoying. We thought from the moment it came down that it would be in a hot position on a hot corner of the map, but I guess it's quite okay. I mean, Jordan continues to keep MBL in his base. Gonna knock down a TC here pretty quickly. MBL will drop down a defensive castle. Yellow player still has a lot of Trebs, and they are Japanese Trebs after all. Japanese Trebs. Pretty useful unit. They will have some trouble versus some bombard cannons firing away from distance here. One Treb getting knocked down pretty quick. Bombard cannons microing around. If they can put down a big shot onto this group of Arbs, it could help a lot. Don't sleep on the cannons, man. Cannons will slowly but surely dwindle down the Treb numbers. Yellow player is trying to snipe cannons with Trebs, but he's not getting great success. Trash army out on the front for Jordan, and he's starting to take over some really, really nice control of this front area. 4 Trebs down, continued trash out in front of this group of cannons. A couple Trebs for the J-Man as well. Jordan's got a castle on the right side, taking that gold. He's got scouts, or rather light cav, roaming in from the left side. Blue player has control of all of the extra resource piles now. MBL's really just got this hill. He's got this hill, and Jordan has decided, well, I'm not going to go break that hill. I'm going to go around that hill and push in. Trebs are unpacking. This castle will be under siege soon. We will see cannons continuing to rock the world of any Trebs that come out. Castle is out of the map. I think that's a good point. I think that's a good way to say it. That castle is a little out of place. Light Cav starting to roll in, starting to head toward the back of MBL's economy. 112 Vils for the yellow player, and like we said in the onset of this game, if MBL loses, he drops from first place on the ladder to fourth. It's not over yet, but it is starting to look pretty bleak as Jordan on 120 Vils continues to spam trash out in front of this siege. Jordan's, as we said, he's got a really nice grip on the rest of the map as far as gold and stone go. Light Cav roaming in, not necessarily rocking anybody's world, but they are annoying. Chain Barding Armor coming, Hussar coming for the blue player, still rolling forward with more stables. More stables coming, cannon number is just a few, but we will see a castle drop on the front for Jordan, and oh, snap, oh shit.
That's a bit of a pickle.
Oh shit. That castle was built just enough to die. Unfortunately for Jordan, he's still got a stranglehold on the game, but he will not be able to have that castle. Bit of a bummer. Castle with just a couple hammers put down on it gets destroyed by MBL's Treb. Good awareness from MBL, I suppose, but at the end of it, it is still GG. Jordan grabs a second win in the 3 games that we've seen so far with a really nice, well, where did it all come together? Where did it all come together, boys? I have to think about that for a moment. After the pause, I got a little befuddled. Jordan was able to put some pressure on MBL, probably too much pressure for the size of the army he had in the late feudal, early Castle Age. Jordan was able to get out on his map, tower up his front gold, add in a couple TCs. MBL pushed back a bit, but he didn't push back in a vigorous way. And at the end of it, Jordan's eco advantage, after that early Castle Age play, he slowed MBL's second and third TC. That eco advantage for Jordan was carried throughout the rest of the game. And he'll grab a win. Jordan will run to the toilet, and we will take a moment to look at the stats. Okay, what happened there? Jordan had more eco sooner, and he kept it longer, and he gathered more of everything that you can want. The Italians player in the late game transitioned over to Elite Skirm, and he had bombard cannons and trebs behind it, and it was too much for Jordan. A couple light cav in there for good measure, but I think the arbs were the big factor there. Jordan grabbing a couple relics. MBL did have some relics, but I think they got knocked out of his monastery there at the end. Ultimately, I just didn't know what MBL's plan was to win the game, and I don't know if he knew what his plan was. We were about 40 minutes in. He hits Imp, had a good time. He trebs down Jordan's castle, but there wasn't too much and then. You know, it's like, dude, where's my car? Where that lady just keeps saying, and then. Man, that hurts my voice to try to do that old lady's voice. Yeah, there just wasn't enough there. There just wasn't quite enough there to follow up. If it was a 1-2 punch, the 2 was just not nearly what it needed to be. So, Jordan will get a second win. Jordan looking in pretty good form here, guys. Maybe he's figured something out. He decided to talk a little less and play a little more seriously on his stream, and it does seem to be converting into some W's for him. Jordan versus MBL game number 4 on the way, and we'll be ready for that as soon as it launches. I'll say thanks again to you guys for hanging out. I'll say thanks to Kid Chino for the most recent follow, and Tanner a little earlier on. Dark Age Public Education throwing us some biddies. Thanks, buddy. And Company of Noobless was the most recent sub. Thank you to all of you guys for all of the support. Those follows, man, they feel good. It all feels good. It's all appreciation when you get a sub or a follow or a bits. But man, subs are hard to come by. I mean, follows are hard to come by. They're really hard to come by. It looks like we're doing pretty well on stream quality. We will have a couple drops here and there from Voobly, but at least for now, we're doing pretty well. This is going nicely. Waiting for Jordan versus MBL to come our way. We will be ready for that in a couple of minutes. Jordan said he's taking a quick break, so we'll wait for a moment for that. Let's see if we can find a Michael Jordan quote. I have to talk while I type. Are Italians better than Japanese in general? I think Italians do have some strengths over Japanese. Let's see a little Michael Jordan quote here. Thanks for the follow. Polly Peppa Pig! Hi, I thought you were already a follower. I think I remember that name.
Don't say the shot against you. Yeah, that was the greatest moment because I think that took me from if I had any doubt about
Listening to a little Michael Jordan, waiting on a little Jordan versus
that
MBL.
shot gave me the confidence that I belong where I was, and that it was, if you put your mind to doing whatever you want to do.
MBL should have gone Cavalier since there were no Genovese crossbows. MBL might have had more success with Cavalier. I think he would have had more success. Is Mugs plus Redemption really worth it here for a few cannons, says Bosch. Did he go for it? I didn't notice.
Pass any expectations that I may have for myself.
Jordan doesn't really have great quotes so far.
I haven't had any disappointments. I mean, sports is
He's a good speaker, but he doesn't have this like powerful quote, Doesn't have this powerful quote yet. Maybe we should add the Cat Zingano scream. The primal roar. That blood-curdling Cat Zingano scream. The Peppa Pig with some biddies. I thought I was too. Hit the button. Hit the follow button, yo. Welcome again. Welcome again. We are waiting on the match to come our way between Jordan and MBL. Those guys are going to need a brief pause to, excrete some fluids. Don't make it dirty. It's just urination. We'll see if we can find a drop here. I don't have a whole lot of ideas. Eminem, my name is. LeBron James, man. LeBron James. What does LeBron James say, though? I'm trying to think of, this one could be nice. I promise I won't overplay it, but,
Thanks, Obama.
Not exactly emphatic. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe that's not the right one. Spectalay's counting down, so let's get focused. And let's say hello to Lucy. Hey.
You want that?
No thanks. The Telia internet didn't work yet. I'm going to try it again later, but it was really slow.
Okay.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, guys. Enough of you listening in on my private conversations with the woman I love. That got creepy. I don't know why. You're allowed to love a woman, but you're not allowed to say it in such a deep, creepy voice. What I do with the woman I love is nobody's business. It's nobody's goddamn business. Okay, anyway, enough of that. Britons versus Burmese here. You do not have to adjust your TV sets. It is Jordan 2, MBL 1. MBL is now down to 25-46, which I think puts him in third or fourth place on the ladder. Started the day at the top of the food chain, but losing a couple games to the J-Man here has milked about 50 points out of his score. So, Jordan on the way back up to the top? Question mark? I hope so. For now, it will be Britons versus Burmese. Jordan leaving 5 bills on the sheep. And you guys appreciate the creepy humor, don't you? This is a channel that is very much pro weird, creepy humor. Well, not creepy. I mean, I'm a bit old to be truly creepy, because then, once you get past a certain age. Anyway, blue player for now, 3 vills on the wood line. We'll see if a fourth one goes over. It does have back gold to work with. That back wood line is quite thick.
Look at that thick wood.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. That's not running out anytime soon.
Hill on the front of his base is awkward. This hill over here is kind of behind his TC, so it's not as awkward. Jordan finding a couple of sheep. I don't love this hill. I don't like this hill at all. These hills make me uncomfortable. These hills have eyes. He's even got a hill up here. I don't like that. It's a launching point for your opponent's attacks. And It could be uncomfortable this game for Jordan. We'll have 4 Vils on the wood line. Could go for early militia play, but I think 4 Vils on wood for Britons is pretty standard to start off the game. MBL will have 3 Vils on his wood line on the right side. Burmese player is going to have the purple color this game. He's been switching colors on us, trying to find the right groove. The Emperor's new groove, I suppose. Purple player, MBL, the second best player in Norway, absolutely, is going to have the berry patch on the back, gold behind him, stone behind him. Not the greatest map for wood. He's probably going to have to walk all the way out to one of these big wood lines eventually, but for now, maybe he can chop wood on that side. He's got an awkward hill on the front of his base as well. He's got a couple awkward hills, so this is going to be an awkward game. It's going to be uncomfortable for whoever is defending on these maps because, well, defender's advantage is only so good. You don't want to be fighting uphill. What can MBL do to mitigate this? Maybe he puts a barracks up on top of this hill. Maybe he puts some military buildings on this hill, I guess, was probably scarier. But I don't know, man. I don't know if there's really a good strategy to take all of the problems away. MBL pushing in some deer, getting this thing ready. You're a beautiful man. Hey, Don. I'm a weird guy, but, I'm high-functioning at least. Purple player for now is going to be pushing in deer, playing a little greedy, getting a little food under his TC. He has the Burmese. He has the ability to build those sweet, delicious Arambai. So maybe we will see that out of him as the game rolls on. Not enough Vils on wood, I don't think, for MBL to make a serious play toward Men-at-Arms. Jordan certainly could go for Men-at-Arms or could go for a Drush. We'll have to keep an eye on his side of the map. Blue player for now is rolling forward with that scout and will soon figure out what his opponent's working with. I don't think either guy really has a great map. Jordan's starting to wall in his. He can make it a lot better than it is now with a little bit of structure. We'll have a barracks coming down. And you could imagine if the Drush lives for a little while or the Men-at-Arms live for a while that Jordan could, he can continue to block in more and more of this, make it less and less bad. That's really your main job when you have a map like this. And we'll see if Jordan can keep up the momentum. If he wins this game, if he wins 3 out of 4 from MBL, well, I'll be quite happy for him. MBL was sitting at the top of the ladder to start the day for a reason. Jordan has felt a little off. He was saying on his Twitter, I'm going to focus a little bit more on playing and a little bit less on talking when I stream. And at least so far, that's given him a little bit of momentum. He's had a couple of very nice days. I can feel for him, man. I don't know how the Viper does it. Viper is really the only person I know who seems to be able to play at a super high level while talking. A lot of other guys do talk a lot while they play, but I don't know. I feel like it messes with their steez, as the kids say. Jordan has clicked up. His barracks is down. 2 villagers over to gold. It looks like a Men-at-Arms play to me. Smells like a Men-at-Arms play to me, and we will see the first militia coming out from him now. MBL has a couple militia of his own. Did not see him going for Men-at-Arms here, but he will be able to go with some militia. Sending 2 Vils over to gold so he can upgrade Men-at-Arms as well, and we will see a bunch of villagers along with this. When your Civ has a great unique unit and you think you can get some good pressure with towers, it can be a really nice combination. You're already going to be on stone probably in this case. You're going to have some towers on the front. Those towers can usually run interference while you build a castle on the front. As a metagame strategy, it can work really well for Burmese. It can work really well for Spanish. It can work okay for Berbers. You see it a lot with Koreans because their towers are so OP. You know how it is. Well, he's the Viper indeed. Hills Have Eyes, greatest series franchise ever. That is sarcasm. I hope so, Roy. I didn't see the Hills Have Eyes movies, but I didn't see anybody tell me I should see them either. Maybe they were great, but I don't know. MBL is somehow forward on 20 Vils with this build that we should probably look back and study a bit. He's going to have just enough for the 3 militia. His tower production has already started, and he's putting some pretty heavy pressure on for a 20 Vil up. Men-at-Arms upgrade comes in for MBL as well, and I just actually don't know how he afforded that. Burmese do have some upgrades worth thinking about, or some advantages worth thinking about. The free lumber camp upgrades can help a lot. You get the better infantry techs as the ages go on, so these militia will be quite strong, these men-at-arms. But how he afforded that is actually a little beyond me. Very cool early game for MBL. Did lose a villager as he jumped out of this tower, so that will put him a tiny bit behind. Second tower is on the way. Purple player for now, trying to keep up the aggression. Little quick walling from MBL, making Jordan walk the long way around the horn. Blue player is coming over here to try to melee something down. He's going to knock down his own house to get in, but He will not fully get in. It's a pinch point there still because of MBL's walls. MBL could lose a Vil here, but the tower should go up. However, the tower's going to be under pressure if MBL can't get more men-at-arms into this area. Blue player for now bringing in more Vils. Jordan's committing. MBL's bringing in one more man-at-arms, and maybe, well, he did have one in the tower also. Maybe he can hold this off for a moment. Blue player, though, coming with a lot of heat. MBL just has to get what trades he can. MBL's just going to have to get what trades he can now. He's going to take a lot of damage. These villagers are going to have to jump out and run for dodge. MBL gets in a little more damage, does kill another man-at-arms there. Villagers are trying to melee down each other, but MBL is pretty hotly outnumbered there. Tower for now is still up on 74 HP. Purple player is going to try to repair it a bit, I think. He's leaving his villagers on the front. Come hell or high water, MBL is leaving those Vils out there to dry. Jordan did lose quite a lot. But Jordan could... Oh, he's not going to kill any more Vils. Jordan, I thought he would chase MBL's villagers home with a couple of the higher HP Vils, but I guess he just didn't have any high HP villagers out there. Another man-at-arms coming. The blue player is sending out a little bit of bait for his opponent, and he will chase back these units with one man-at-arms. At the end of that fight, MBL is 4 villagers ahead. Jordan lost a lot in that exchange. He should be able to earn back another Vil or 2 on the way home, but maybe not. MBL is already close to home, and Jordan is fighting the, well, a Vil who's on 23 HP still. So a big tower push from MBL. It feels like it fell apart quickly, but Jordan losing a lot in that exchange. Archery range coming for the blue player. He does not have wheelbarrow. If you're thinking about maybe he's got a wheelbarrow. No, I just see villagers grabbing 10 food at a time. So... no wheelbarrow in for the J-Man. He's going to add in an archery range. MBL will come back with more towers. Blue player, oh, kill the villager. Oh, kill him. That villager, I suppose, would have survived. It would have survived on 1 HP, but Jordan will pull back. He will have 1 man-at-arms on the map, and that will be it. Archer range is down for the blue player. On the other side of the map, Mr. MBL is going to just have an archery range as well. Archer's coming for MBL. He's got a couple man-at-arms coming as well. We'll move back over to Stone. And for now, the tower creep continues. The saga continues. Cheesesteak Jimmy's. Rogan Woolalo. Let's see. Well, he's the Viper. Why did Purple build a house there? He's going to need it to keep the Vils busy. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Oh, the villagers coming on the front here. It's not terribly uncommon. Keep those Vils working after all. It's not super uncommon, but yeah, it is weird to see a house in the middle of the map, isn't it? Feels weird. 3 Vils on the front are now going to start taking stone here. Jordan should be able to see this, but he doesn't. Not quite yet. Not even close. I don't know. There we go. Now that the skirms are out, Jordan can see what's cracking on top of that hill. Villagers are going to roll forward for another tower. Blue player for now is going to go camp under that initial tower and rain down a couple of javelins. 1 man-at-arms on the way over from MBL could not be better timed. That unit is perfectly on time to deal with this. Blue player's trying to come in from behind, but MBL sees it and he starts focusing down that unit with arrow fire. Blue player for now, moving back away from this. You got to say that's a pretty good exchange for MBL as he gets another tower up on the front of his opponent's base. Jordan is still 4 Vils behind. He is just now grabbing Horse Collar, which is a bit unfortunate, but... ultimately, there's still time for him to come back. These 2 towers are in series. They are guarding each other, and the purple player's got at least a couple archers inside of one of them. So Jordan will have a little trouble climbing his own hill here on the front. The hills indeed have eyes in this game. This hill definitely has eyes. Okay, Blacksmith coming in the back for Jordan. Wants to get fletching, I suppose. Couple of skirms for him on the front. That makes MBL add in a stable. Pretty predictable little back and forth in this game. As we see those couple of units trying to harass, MBL will come in from behind with some men-at-arms. MBL probably doesn't need that stable, does he? MBL's men-at-arms here are going to do the job just fine. The stable goes up, but I don't... well, he's going to build a scout. I don't think he needs it, but he is going to build one. Jordan is transitioning over to archers slowly. Purple player MBL is trying to build more towers, but for now he's going to have to go back and wait. Military sizes are equal. The only difference in this game so far is MBL's couple of towers and his ability to kill a couple Vils from Jordan. He's killed a couple of Jordan's Vils. He's set Jordan's economy back a tad, and now Jordan is playing a little bit from behind. 5 villager advantage for Mibble. as he continues to roll forward with the towers. He's going to use 3 of those 5 villagers to take stone, and he's going to use 3 more villagers on the front. So it's essentially the same size eco as far as gathering goes. It's essentially the same gathering rate. Fletching coming now for MBL. Will be able to push a little harder with his towers. Jordan gets a tower up, though, maybe denying this one from MBL. Purple player for now did get his fletching done. Does have enough stone for another tower. Probably going to have to delete this foundation here on the front once he sees Jordan's tower get completed. For now, 9 military for each guy. Archer numbers are similar, and fletching is in for both players. 1 scout out for MBL, and that's going to be it for now as he adds in wheelbarrow. MBL went for the stable. He was going to go for a couple scouts to push back Jordan's skirms, but Jordan kind of a little sneaky boy played him there. Jordan already transitioned over to archers before MBL's stable could even really finish. So we see 1 scout out. That difference in economy might let Jordan click up sooner, but we'll see. We will see not. We will see Jordan not clicking up sooner. Jordan is also on stone somewhere, as he is building more towers, I suppose. Is he on stone or is he using the market? I don't see a market. Don't see a market. Ah, here it is. 5 villas on stone for Jordan. So that's going to put Jordan behind economically. My math was wrong. Those villagers on stone and the villagers building up towers will give MBL an earlier castle time. Town Watch coming for the purple player. And 3 towers in series like this on top of this hill. You guys can probably guess what's going to come next. We're going to see MBL click up to the castle age. We're going to see him bank some stone, I would guess. And we're going to see him drop a castle on top of that hill. 1 tower at home for MBL for now. He does have an army hanging in defense. 10 total units for him. Still needs a little more time before he can click castle. A couple more villagers on the way out. Purple player has 3 villas on stone. He's going to send 3 villagers. Nope, they're staying on wood. 3 villas on stone for now for MBL. 2 on the front as well. So 5 total. Math on stream. Who said that's a bad thing? Purple still pushing Jordan's army around a bit. Jordan's got the hill bonus, but he's got more archers, I suppose, than skirms. MBL will get some trades here, but he ultimately will lose that fight and have to go back, I suppose. Not a ton of damage coming in on MBL's base. Not any damage coming in on his base just yet. 43 villagers for purple. Blue player is going to be on 42. He's a couple vills behind because his wheelbarrow is still completing. But ultimately, Jordan still has a decent opportunity to come back in this game. Jordan's got 5 vills on stone. He knows what the plan is. MBL is going to have 5-6 vills on stone, I suppose, all in total. 7 vills, actually. Castle Age coming for purple, and I think we're going to see Castle drop an Arambay. If Jordan wants to drop a castle as well, he certainly can afford it. He does have towers kind of all around his eco. This part of his economy is a bit open, a bit unguarded. You can imagine Arambay like up in this area of the map being quite annoying. But we'll see what Jordan decides to do if he wants to drop a castle. We'll see where it ends up. Padded Archer armor in for MBL. Castle Age still coming for him. 7 military for each guy. Couple of small punches exchange. You can see a couple of armies getting decimated on the side. But really, right now, the score remains the same. Everything remains equal, but MBL still holds the top of this hill. Waiting for Castle Age, go Britain crossbows. Well, those Britain crossbows will have a nice little range advantage. The blue player does have double ranges down. He has clicked Castle Age now. Can't quite afford the archer production, but we'll see if it's continued archers for Jordan. MBL's going Bloodlines, going Scale Barding armor. For now, it is going to be 1 range pumping out an archer or 2. Purple player is pushing in through the left side with a couple skirms. Jordan for now with 8 military. Those units are kind of in no man's land, not really able to hang out and defend versus the skirms. Jordan having to build a couple defensive towers, which will slow down his stone economy a bit, might delay his first castle a bit, but that tower will continue to pay dividends. These towers are going to be useful versus the Arambay in general, I think, so it's a really uncomfortable position for Jordan. This is a game where, I don't know, if Jordan was talking a lot on his stream, which he's not doing as much, but I think he would tell you that this is a bad spot. This is a pickle.
That's a bit of a pickle, isn't it?
This is a bit of a pickle. It's not an amazing spot. MBL gets his castle age. He starts to get his castle coming down on top of this hill. Jordan's going to come with defensive towers. Needs something good to happen. Couple of knights out for MBL to run interference. This tower would need to go up for sure. Purple player's working his way over as fast as he can. Jordan with some quick walling, but not enough quick walling. The villagers are not going to get the tower done. Would have been a nice cheeky tower. Might have been able to kill a few vills and slow the castle a bit. But the tower is denied, and the castle goes up, and MBL's timing has been nothing but perfect this game. What's more annoying, Britain crossbows or Arambai? Well, the Britain crossbows here are going to be playing defense. More TCs coming, maybe more towers coming for Jordan. Going to give up on the idea of a castle for now. Those are going to be playing in defense, and they're going to be taking castle arrow fire as they come out of the ranges. So these two ranges are kind of a poison pill on the front. MBL gets a siege workshop to go along with his Arambai, and your chances of winning this game with crossbows, boy, God, I don't know. University coming, ballistics coming. Jordan's going to make a play for it with Bodkin arrow. He will have that extra range as Britain's hitting the castle age, but his chances are pretty bleak. MBL has not queued any Arambai yet. He's actually building a fair number of knights and a couple skirms to go along with it. Siege Workshop on the front with a Mangonel. Soon, I would guess. It seems to be a pretty wise play. Purple player back at home is going to be on the 1 TC for now. Does not have a huge gold economy. He actually spent a lot of gold on those couple of knights. Just 6 villagers collecting gold, some of them not terribly effectively. So for now, it is neither Arambai nor Mangonels for MBL, who's up to the castle age. Jordan is going to build up another range back inside of his base. As I said, those 2 ranges on the front are a little tricky. As soon as you pop your crossbows out, they're already under fire. Jordan's going ballistics as we speak, and he's sneaking his army up to the north. We will see another siege workshop from MBL, and we will now start to see some Mangonel production for him. Knight number for him is maybe 8 at least there. Not too much back at home, just a couple defensive towers and now a TC. Jordan will begin to sneak the long way around the horn, maybe, to harass. For now, he's actually hanging out on that right side, and boy, isn't that a nice place to be with your crossbows. If there were Arambai, these crossbows would be really well positioned, because this is exactly the juiciest part of this eco that you would want to hit. Blue player for now is waiting for his world to change around. He's got a couple of TCs down, he's trying to build an economy up. Pressure on the front of his base will come in soon. But so far, Jordan's still alive. He's still alive. MBL gets a 2nd and 3rd TC down now, so he will have a villager advantage if the game continues to roll on. Barring a little bit of raiding from the blue player. Blue player's still just hanging out with a couple of crossbows on the left side. He's got a little bit more of a military somewhere. I guess he's sending crossbows into the towers as fast as he can. Or into the TC even. MBL starts to mango down that front TC, and Jordan will lose a vill or 2 in the process. Jordan's still got a big group of crossbows off to the right side. He's not going to leave himself vulnerable there. Castle drop coming from the blue player. Nice position there. Will stop the Mangonels on the front from harassing him too much. I don't like this position at all for Jordan. I feel uncomfortable. If this is me, I'm feeling extremely uncomfortable. But you know what? If this castle goes up, yeah, this position does look half decent. It looks half decent. 60% of the way done, 60% of the time.
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
60% of the time, baby. 60% up, it will be completed. A couple villagers will die in the process, and that's going to help MBL pull out to a 22 villager advantage. Jordan is going to go Imperial Age this time around, and he'll get even another range upgrade on his crossbows. Jordan's on the way to Imp. Maybe he's thinking about trebbing down his opponent's front area. The purple player, MBL, got punished earlier playing against... who was MBL playing against? I guess he was playing against Vivi at that point. This is one of those weird times. Your opponent's going Imperial Age on 44 vills. If you can identify it, as MBL might be able to do, you can dive in with an army and catch him really off guard. Watchtower still coming up on top of the hill for the blue player. He's trying to defend his eco with some towers and with a couple of crossbows. MBL's knights are +1/+2 with bloodlines. So they can run in, but they don't necessarily want to run directly into the worst part of the thing here. Mangonel could put down a little damage on those crossbows, could help MBL a lot, but for now, Jordan continues to ward off the major part of this attack. MBL is kind of dipping a toe in, and he's finding that the pond is a bit too cold for him. And he's going to just hang out and take a few free houses. But boy, doesn't that feel like a win for Jordan. 5 vills down with a mango shot, says the gentleman. That is certainly not the way you treat a lady, is it? A couple more vills under pressure here from MBL. Nice job edging out the side of this area with his mango. Is going to get in a little too close for comfort and grab another vill or two, keeping Jordan under the 50 villager mark. MBL is on the way to Imp as we speak. Jordan will be the first one up by quite a lot, 2.5 minutes. But MBL's got an army. MBL has an army that can continue to keep Jordan in a small box. Jordan is defending with a ton of towers, does have a couple crossbows. There's still a chance here for the blue player. He's going to get a Treb out, and I suppose maybe this is one of those situations where you put a Treb like here and you build a little wall in front of it, protect it a little bit. Don't know, but we'll find out. Blue player still hanging out on top of that hill on the right of his base. He will have a Treb coming as we speak. Arbalest upgrade is on the way. Of course, crossbows will now have 9 range. Putting down damage from a distance. Purple player continuing to fortify the top of his hill. Probably assuming that he's going to lose this castle, which he probably is. We'll see if MBL tries to fight a little Treb war for that castle, but he might have to just surrender the fact that that's not going to survive. Purple player is 26 villagers ahead, so there is some major discrepancy in the resources that these two guys will have to work with. Jordan has 21 military. MBL has 27. MBL's got a couple rams out already. Bunch of gold in the bank for him to try to continue production. We have not seen those sweet, juicy Arambai yet, but we will see a castle on the front under siege. That castle is not going to make it. MBL sending forward 5 villagers to maybe keep some interesting play going on that side. But I don't think that castle has it in the cards. I think he's just trying to hold his opponent off and stall him a little bit. I think he's trying to stall a little bit there. Purple player would benefit nicely from the Cavalier upgrade before the next big fight. More stables coming from him. It is full-on night production for Mr. MBL. MBL's castle still stays under siege. There's about 7-8 villagers there on the front trying to keep it repaired. Jordan will add in a couple of Trebs. How many total here now? How many Trebs you got, J-Man? Jordan's got 2 Trebs on the front. He is building a nice wall off. I love that players are doing this more now. I can't take any credit for it, but it's such a nice little strategy. Such a nice little strategy. Cavalier would certainly want to run in and snipe these Trebs, so building a wall in front of them makes a ton of sense. 2 Trebs still working on the castle. MBL has abandoned ship. MBL is going to go Cavalier, plate barding armor. For now, he's got 3 rams ready, but he's going to wait on that plan. Not going to overcommit to the rams just yet. I think at some point in the future, we'll see a bunch of rams roll in here and try to knock down this whole front area. But at least for now, MBL is going to spend his resources on Cavalier. Speaking of the Cavaliers, LeBron James and company back in the NBA Finals, starting up on Thursday. Starting up on Thursday, guys. Hopefully you'll be excited about that. I'm not, because, you know, I'm a Celtics fan. They beat us up again. MBL's going Fervor. Gonna get a few monkeys out on the map? Is that the plan? Fervor. Fervor is just, isn't it just Monk's speed? Sorry, Monks move 15% faster. MBL getting the Monk's speed upgrade. Okay, interesting. Rams start to come forward from MBL, a little bit half-cocked here with just 3 capped rams, but he will start to roll in a little bit of a chain of rams. Will knock down one of these Trebs eventually, maybe. Maybe not. Yep, Treb goes down. Celtics fan, yeah. For better or worse, I'm from the Boston area, so yeah, you got to cheer for the home team. Looks like the blue player will get his TC denied here on the left side, and he's going to, I think, delete it in time to save the resources, but I'm not sure. Jordan's under the 100 stone that he would have needed. That TC just might have been killed. Might have been killed. Jordan's got a good number of ARBs in the middle of his base. He is slowly but surely losing a little bit of ground. 63 total vills for him. MBL's Cavalier is like a huge amount. Feeling like checkmate here, says Jordan, as the Trebs unpack on top of the hill. And MBL looks to be, as Jordan is saying, in a good spot, and we will see the GG roll in. There's not a whole lot to analyze here from a standpoint of like major battles, major moments. MBL came in with some towers, knocked Jordan down by a couple vills. I guess that's a major moment. MBL came back, towered up this hill. Castle dropped the front of it. Jordan really never recovered from that. Lost 2 ranges to that castle, which is really important. Slowed down his production a lot. Blue player ended up going full-on ARBs and ended up not being able to hold his side of the map. Jordan never really got to leave his base after the, the mid-feudal age, and unfortunately, he was not able to get out and scare MBL and knock his economy down. Meanwhile, Mr. Mibble was just booming his way up. Players have relaunched into another match, boys, so let's watch it. Jordan and I are probably living a similar lifestyle, meaning that he's probably going to have to go to bed after this game, just like little old me. But as long as these two guys are around throwing haymakers, we'll hang around with them. 2 points for each player. 5th game will be the rubber match, and we will jump into that as soon as it pops off live in just a moment. Burning Sun lives in Houston. Oh, man. Once the Celtics lost, I was like, all right, well, I couldn't. They overachieved. I'm okay with it, But I was like, man, I really want to see Houston. I really don't have any interest in seeing Golden State versus the Cavaliers again. Oh, again. Oh, God. I think Golden State should roll over them. I mean, absolutely roll over them. I don't know what Iguodala's situation is. Iggy is actually pretty important because he guards LeBron James some of the time. Durant and James can go at it as well. But, I mean, how did the Cavaliers win that series? The Cavaliers playing the Celtics looked terrible. I mean, as big of a Celtics fan as I am, I can tell you, they were not really, clutch. There were a lot of moments when, even in the games they won, where the Celtics just couldn't score any points. They just didn't have anybody in Game 7 who was clutch. They didn't have anybody at the end of games who was really clutch to win. They were a team that was basically like an attenuated virus, the type of virus that you use to immunize somebody. And the Cavaliers did not roll over them like an immunization shot. The Cavaliers barely survived that series. If Boston shows up in Game 7, maybe Cleveland loses. I mean, I'm not trying to take anything away from them. I think that they'll have a lot of trouble with Golden State. Golden State's a much better team than Boston. I mean, 20% better. Anyway, let's see how this game shapes up. It will be Saracens versus Byzantines. Mr. Jordan playing from the beautiful German countryside in the blue trunks. We'll have the Saracens as a civ here. Jordan looking good today, looking to win the rubber match and win the series 3-2, versus a player who's got a much higher rating. MBL's a couple hundred points over the J-Man. Jordan's map here does have backstone to work with, is pretty wallable on the right side. Barry's on the front. Awkward hill on the front, but that's his only awkward hill. I think any pro player should be able to absorb one awkward hill. You can put some military buildings up there and be fine. This gold is a little bit blocked off by that wood line. It's actually kind of annoying, but ultimately, you got to play it as it lies, and this is a decent map. As the game rolls on, you could imagine Jordan walling this in and taking these resources in the Castle Age as well. Jordan's got a pretty good map. Pretty good, man. Byzantine player MBL is playing in the purple. MBL has been searching for the right color today, and I suppose purple is going to be the one after he gets a win. MBL is a great player as the Byzantines. His ability to go deep into trash and really just get cost-effective enough fights out of you while he builds up his eco is really impressive, and maybe we'll see him do that in this particular game. Not quite sure. Purple player's got back gold piles behind his TC. His wood lines are pretty far away. You can see this one is just a mile away from the TC. But he will have a gold pile over there as well, and a couple of, a couple of stone piles as well. A little bit of scout poking action going on. Looks like Jordan got in the first poke. MBL will grab his last couple of sheep, and maybe he'll head back home to continue to build up his eco. Overachieved, they were the 2 seed. Well, they were the 2 seed without their best player, Kyrie Irving, getting hurt 10 games with 10 games left in the season. I think they overachieved. I was happy that they beat Milwaukee. I was a little surprised that they beat Philadelphia. And I'm absolutely shocked that they went to 7 games with Cleveland. I am pretty happy with how that season turned out. Would have been nice to see the whole team there, but it is what it is, man. Gordon Hayward getting hurt in the first game, that was painful to watch. That was really, really painful to watch. Whew, his leg was like a Ouija board. It just didn't know which way to go. A couple of sheep here from Jordan have been stolen, are running over to the corner. Blue players rolling around in the back of this eco looking for something to do. And we'll see. We'll see if Jordan can get in a little bit of layman. If Chris Paul played, Houston would have won. I think maybe that's true. Houston definitely showed up in Game 7. They definitely gave it a shot. MBL grabbing the couple of sheep on the side, which is nice for him. That will help out his early game economy. MBL also has some pretty easy-to-push deer if he wants to get a little more food under the TC. MBL will go forward in scout. Jordan will continue to roll around in scout. Jordan might get a little confused at this wood line. It's so far away from the TC that he's probably going to be like, huh? What? Amazing. Loves to say amazing, doesn't he? Amazing. Purple player coming out with a couple more vills toward his wood line. It is the 18 villager mark for each side. Jordan is powering down food as far as I can tell. I don't see a barracks coming up yet. So I suppose the Saracens player here, for now, is going to stick with this build. We're not going to see an early barracks man-at-arms, I guess. Warriors transformed in the third quarter. They are nasty in the third quarter, aren't they? They are really nasty. I hope Cleveland can win some games. If they can win that series, man, oh, God, that would be really nice fuel to the fire of is LeBron the best player of all time? I don't like the storyline that people are sticking with, which is like, oh, LeBron's so good, he carried this team. Even though it's true, it's like a sad storyline. Like, he is so good, but I'm annoyed that he doesn't have a better team there. I've never been a big fan of Kevin Love. I feel like he's a guy who they pay a lot of money to, who's really good, but not quite as good, not quite good enough to be the second best player on a championship team. But I don't know. I mean, LeBron is just so good. Maybe he can do it. Anyway, 8:03 for Jordan is the uptime. 21 villagers for him. Barracks is coming. Villagers moving over to gold. Jordan looks like he might go straight into archers here, but I don't know. Wood economy for Jordan is not that fleshed out. Barracks comes up and militia start to come out. So a little bit of a delayed push into militia, maybe men-at-arms. MBL will be on the front with a barracks of his own, and MBL will start to pour a little bit more pressure on. Last game, MBL's pressure put him out ahead, and then he stayed ahead and won the match, and maybe this time he'll get the same result. Certainly he'll go for the same type of a play here. Byzantines are nasty in a tower push because of how cheap their trash is. Purple player here is not in this like all-in, balls-deep tower push. He's in for a 21 vil up tower play with a couple militia alongside it. Question mark? No militia alongside it. MBL is not on gold, so I guess we are not going to see too much in the way of militia. For now, villagers are going back for the purple player. Feudal Age comes in for him. And we are going to see a couple spears on the front. Jordan bringing some villagers out to the front here to bolster his men-at-arms. Does get his scout trapped, which is kind of depressing. But Jordan will have a little bit of a counterplay with maybe some towers of his own. Spearmen coming out for the purple player, but Spearmen are not exactly the scariest unit on the map. Jordan continues to boom up, will go men-at-arms, and will push back against his opponent. And maybe Jordan will be the one with a little bit of tower aggression. Why do so many people hate LeBron? I don't get it. I don't really get it either. I don't think he really deserves to be hated. I mean, there are some things like that I think you could say like, oh, I'm annoyed by this. I'm annoyed by, whatever. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed by how he's winning every year. But I don't know. Seems like a pretty upstanding guy. Jordan's going to have double towers on the front. No, that's an outpost. Tower coming up for him, maybe. Does force MBL into a defensive tower there and then deletes everything and moves over to the other side. Jordan is going to drop his tower on MBL's berries, which will feel kind of a pinch for the purple player. Purple's coming out, though, with a couple vills. And Jordan with some quick walling. Jordan looking awfully good this game. Does still have his militia on the front to run interference. MBL's got 6 villagers in the mix, but is it enough? Once the tower is done, those men-at-arms can circle back around and might be able to come in. Skirmishers firing away from distance, but it's really just the scout here who can put down any meaningful damage. Blue player still with 4 militia. Jordan still with 4 militia, and he is really getting a lot of play out of this counter tower push. Villagers, though, from MBL rushing the tower down pretty quickly. Blue player's got to repair like a madman. I think it's time to dive in those men-at-arms, Jordan. Jordan is still waiting on the outskirts of town to dive in with those units. I guess that's the plan. He's going to keep adding in more men-at-arms here. But the skirmishers, for now, soaking up a lot of arrow fire from the tower, and we have yet to see Jordan get rid of these villagers at the base of the tower. Jordan's stone count is going to slowly drop. He's going to have to dive in at some point. MBL's tower is getting in some good damage on the blue player. And now Jordan has to make a decision. Or is he just going to run out of dodge with these vills, or is he going to try to hold up this position with more militia? Militia getting sniped down by all of that trash. MBL without fletching still, but he's putting down plenty of damage to slow the roll of those men-at-arms. Blue player is going to spend all the stone that he has in the world, and then I suppose garrison the tower for a moment. Looks like Jordan's planning to just run from this. For now, the villagers from MBL go back, which is ultra surprising to me, actually. Don't know why MBL went back there. I think he could have kept knocking away at the base of the tower, but he stopped. That feels like a blunder, doesn't it? Why did he stop? He had 6 villagers here at the bottom. Jordan, for the most part, is having trouble getting enough men-at-arms to push that side. MBL goes back, and now Jordan walls in the tower. Man, that's a interesting moment. I wonder if that could have gone better for MBL. MBL milked most of Jordan's stone out of his eco, but now Jordan is moving over to stone with 4 vills, so he'll have more towers if he wants them. Blue player still chasing around the trash. Does have a nice group of men-at-arms and a couple of villagers here. Those vills are not impervious, but the men-at-arms could run some nice interference for him on the front. Jordan's got to get in the game. Scale mail armor is here. His villager is still on half HP, and it looks like he will survive this little onslaught of skirmisher fire. So a couple good towers from Jordan, man, and he feels like he's in a really great spot. I don't know how this tower survives in this situation, but it does, and MBL moved 9 villagers over to stone, but he continues to be on the back foot. So MBL came forward, he built a barracks, he wanted to build towers, but he never got the chance to do so on the front. Now he's towering up back at home, trying to defend himself as best he can. Blue player continues to pump out militia, or rather men-at-arms, because why not? Jordan on his side does not have an archery range, does not have a stable, just continuing to pump out the militia line. Jordan's got 1 range, he does not have a stable, does have a barracks, or rather MBL has 1 range, no stable. Purple player for now, microing back as his opponent towers up his stone on the front. More stone piles for Jordan, please, or MBL, please. Well, extra stone is way up there to the north, so for now that's not going to be taken by him. And yeah, that's really all MBL's got to work with. 1 more tower is going to be it for now. Military size for Jordan is quite small. He continues to push back this group now that he's got the scale mail armor upgrade. Can soak up a lot of skirmisher fire, especially since those skirms don't have fletching. So Jordan will push pretty deep into this eco and try to get 1 more tower down for the Gipper. Needs a little more stone, but I think he could try for it. Feels really precarious. MBL forced to build another tower to hold this position. Jordan going back home. Hello, Crash Chan. Yo, yo, yo. Jackahol. Yo. Well, lots of people hate lots of things for not great reasons. I think that's fair to say. The only reason I could think of to hate LeBron is that he keeps breaking my heart. He keeps beating my teams. That's the only real reason I have, and that doesn't feel like a very fair reason. MBL has sustained a lot of pressure here in the early game. He is farming up inefficiently, but he's going to add a mill there on the back. Does have 1 gold pile to work with, so he's not totally kicked in the ass. But yeah, I mean, Jordan's counter push here certainly got in some good damage. Jordan's going to wall in his towers for now, and it looks like he is going to walk home with those villagers. They will get back to work. Blue player looks like he's keen to knock down the barracks from MBL on the side, and MBL is not going to try to fight for that. Jordan has added in a stable back at home. He's adding in some walls back at home, and he will try to boom his way up toward the castle age, which he's clicked up now. So Jordan will click castle a lot sooner than MBL after some really nice early game damage. There are skirmishers aplenty on the map, and they will come out to try to vie to keep this barracks alive. Jordan, though, will have a couple of scouts coming soon, maybe. Jordan might want to wait for the next age in order to build a couple of knights. Look at this. MBL running to the top of that hill, getting in some damage. I thought he might run straight for Jordan's eco. If Jordan can wall in, I think it's fine for him to wait for knights. Getting the gold mining upgrade, for now MBL still could get in. Jordan needs to quick wall this. This is absolutely critical, I think. The only thing those skirmishers can do is sit in the middle of this eco and annoy. As long as the walls are done, which it looks like they will be completed, then Jordan is a happy camper. Blue players' towers did not necessarily cripple the whole eco, but they certainly do annoy a lot of good farming land, and they do take away the berries and the main stone from MBL. MBL gets his skirmishers across the map, and he tries to get in, but I think Jordan is full-walled here. Second stable coming for the blue player. Might not even be necessary, but at least for now, that's Jordan's plan. Jordan's still got 3 villagers over on stone, so he'll slowly build up a little stone so that he can drop some TCs, I suppose. It's not going to be a castle drop for him, but he will stay on stone for now. MBL is not on stone because he can't be on stone, and he's actually going to be harassed soon by a new tower from Mr. Jordan. MBL's bringing over some skirms, but those last couple of men-at-arms for Jordan are Johnny on the spot here to at least hold the line, I think. Tower is going to be on about 70%. Let's see how this goes. Tower's on 75%. MBL's doing a really clever thing here, microing the skirm away. Every time he hits that villager, she stops building. Tower's going to get denied on 87%. MBL winning the nice little details here and there, but so far he's only tied in the score in this series. Jordan's got in some great lumps. That tower would have been really, really nice. If you're playing as MBL, you don't have a whole lot of recourse to knock that thing down. So really critical denial there from MBL. He's on the way to Castle Age now. Jordan is going double stable knights, and those knights should and are heading straight to the front line. Those knights are +1 defense with bloodlines. Saracen's player is going to stream those straight at his opponent's economy. MBL will wall in his wood lines for now. Almost over-chopping this tree on the side, but at least for the moment, he's going to be safe there. Skirmishers are in pretty good numbers with fletching. They're not exactly the unit you want here, but sitting under towers is not so bad for them. A couple of knights need to roam around and find a little bit of pay dirt so that Jordan can continue to extend his advantage. Second town center is up for Jordan, but this is the time in the game where, well, you built double stable knights, now you got to prove that it was a good idea. I think it is a good idea as he continues to roam around and harass. He will lose 1 knight on the side to MBL's trash, which is unfortunate. He will have a couple of other knights rolling around, trying to find some damage. Jordan is, he's not really all in on this. He's got a second TC, and he can build a third one very, very soon if he wants. Did finish the tower on the side, so MBL has to abandon the wood line. MBL will move over and build up another TC. Jordan has been throwing some really nice punches, and MBL feels like he's a counterpuncher today. We'll see if he can continue to have success with that. For now, the knights are, well, they're idling 8 villagers. That's a pretty nice thing to be able to say. 3 TCs down for blue, and he's going to extend his advantage on the eco side of things. While his knights, well, they poke in, they poke out. They're ultimately not really going to get too much more done. Hugo! Yo! How have the matches been so far? Would have expected MBL to be doing better. Well, MBL's been playing his game. He's been doing well, but Jordan looks in very nice form today. So far, Jordan has looked really, really nice. Third TC coming for the blue player. We talked earlier about how he might be able to wall in that left side. He has scouted it, so maybe a little later on in the game he will do that. Continue to expand his eco in a safe spot. Still trying to be annoying with cheeky towers. This tower is great. This tower would have been quite nice, but MBL is on the ball and able to deny it. Probably worth it to try to invest 1 villager over there. Might have lost a little bit of stone, but it's pretty much worth it to me. Jordan rolling in with the knights, but MBL is ready with his third town center just completing. We'll get a couple of pokes with the spears as well, and Jordan will have to get out of dodge. MBL turning a awkward base into a half-decent defense. It will be a couple of TCs down for purple, 3 TCs total, 3 TCs down for blue. I love that my phone will tell me if I'm getting a spam call. Oh, that's so nice. Phone started ringing. I was like, oh shit, is it somebody important? And it even tells you, this is a spammer. Why not just block it if it's a spammer? 4 TCs now for Jordan coming in. Let's see, what's the long-term goal for Saracens here? The couple of knights are nice. In the long run, they're probably not the unit that wins you the game because MBL is going into spears and has built a couple of camels. Obviously, MBL's ability as Byzantines to build trash is going to make it hard for you to really win the game with knights. Running through an economy that's also full of towers and TCs seems very precarious. Saracens certainly can go down the crossbowman line in this situation. That's not the case, and it may not ever become the case, but it's possible. Jordan is still on stone with a couple vills, but he's not really thinking about a castle. Right now the plan is to boom and to spread those knights around, scout the map, keep your opponent at arm's length. But how does he win the game? If you're Jordan here, how do you win the game? Cav archers, +4 attack versus buildings, that could be fun. I don't know. Hand cannons could be nice if MBL is going to spam out a whole bunch of pikeman-lined units. I don't think camels are going to help you too much. Knights are obviously not the long-term answer. Maybe some Hussar and some hand cannons would be cool. Maybe some Mamma Jammas as well. Great siege for Saracens, so keep that in mind. I don't know. Maybe it's bombard cannons, hand cannons, bombard cannons, and a couple Mamma Jammas. I don't know. Hussar, hand cannons, and bombard cannons. That makes a little bit more sense, I guess. Purple player's starting to push down a couple of towers. MBL looks like he's going to go for the trash and siege approach to try to win the match. He's also got camels, so he's got a lot of units out, all really designed to fight against those knights. Those knights are probably not going to be in very high numbers ever again. Jordan's going to drop a castle back at home. He will be on 80 villagers. Blue player is still building up that eco in order to click his way up, but he's grabbing handcart and he's going for the castle, so I think he's thinking about Imp very shortly. Jordan's grabbing a relic now. MBL is not going to be grabbing any relics yet. Coming forward with that trash army, and Mr. MBL, you can see his resources, is going to be in the Castle Age a bit longer. Mamelukes all day, every day, says Frisbee. Mamelukes! You win with monks and watch MBL rage quit. Darth Vader. It's all just Vululu, Vululu. Ah, love that guy. Love that MBL. MBL's coming forward with that army of trash, and Jordan doesn't have too much at home to deal with this. He's got a couple of knights left over from the earlier raiding that he was trying to do, and those couple of knights will do a good job to run interference. This monk gets out with his life somehow. Don't really know how. Blue player is running in with a couple knights to keep an eye on what things are doing, or what's going on inside of his opponent's base. Will snipe down a ram here, and might even snipe down another ram on the side. But this long term is probably not going to be a very easy, very useful thing from Jordan. These knights are basically being thrown to their deaths, being thrown to the wolves. Both guys are clicking up to Imp. Byzantines, of course, get it cheaper, so MBL will be able to click up, even though his eco is probably a little less good. Jordan is on 96 vils, MBL is on 78. Blue player is going for longswords. I was sitting here speculating what was going to be the endgame build. Does MBL have scorpions? Let's check that in a moment. Skirm supported by Mamelukes go a long way, says Ant. Well, Jordan's going to go for the longswords line, and if you guys watch players like Jordan and the Viper, they'll always tell you, I think that those are two guys who are big proponents of the militia line kills trash. If your opponent is building trash, skirmishers and pikes, you can go a really long way down the militia line. I did not see this coming. I wish I was a better caster. I would have told you this is a great time to go for militia, or to go for longswords. That will be the case. More castles coming up for the blue player. For now, we have not seen any Mamma Jammas. We've just seen barracks coming down. Gold shaft mining coming for Jordan. Spreading his eco out a bit. He will have that couple extra gold piles to the left of his base. He will be mining those resources nicely. Jordan's only got one relic and one castle. MBL looks like he's coming forward with a couple of vills to drop down what? A barracks of his own. MBL has been trashing it up this game. You wanted to see about scorpions for the Byzantines. Scorpions for Byzantines. No heavy scorpion for that team. I don't always forget people's questions. I don't usually think very much about scorpions, but in this case, it could work out well. MBL probably has not figured out what his opponent is doing. He's seen the castle. He has not seen all the barracks that we can see. So I think he's going to be a little bit surprised. I mean, maybe it's the smartest choice and he'll expect it. But two-handed swordsman on the way, arson on the way, conscription on the way. Jordan's got this nice advantage, and he's going to turn it all into really highly upgraded two-handed swords for now. It's a really long and slow process to get your units upgraded if you're going down that line. MBL sends in a camel and does find one of those units, and that might be enough for him to see the writing on the wall. That camel might have paid huge dividends because, well, Jordan's got some of these units out. He does have 7 barracks, and he will spam some two-handed swords at his opponent. But at least MBL can expect this a tiny bit. Purple player's bringing back everything at home. He's going Elite Skirm, which can help a tiny bit. He's going chemistry, which might be an interesting thing to look at. Might see a little unit transition from him. We will see the blue player with, nope, no Mamelukes. Does have one Mangonel out, but mostly it's going to be the two-handed sword spam headed toward MBL's base. MBL at first is going to send some pikes out to deal with this. Still waiting for his upgrades. He's in the Imperial Age, but he still needs a little bit more time. MBL's chemistry is on the way, still spamming out the pikes as fast as he can. He's going to use all of that trash to try to hold these units at arm's length. Jordan probably needs to ball up this army a little bit more before he crashes it into his opponent. Pretty good defense so far from MBL. It's just a sheer numbers game. 1 versus 1, I think the two-handed swords do really well. Plate mail armor will help a lot also. But, you know, it's 3 versus 1 at the moment. MBL's army of trash is just so massive. MBL with a massive army of trash is able to push this back. He's also spreading a little trash hither and thither. Iron casting coming, champion coming for Jordan. Castle on Jordan's side will help a lot. Needs another castle here, and he's getting another castle here, which will basically make this whole left side of Jordan's eco safe. Jordan's got a great map for the late game, and he just needs to survive until he gets there. Champion coming, as we said, iron casting on the way. Jordan will also add in fletching, and he may add in a little bit of trash of his own. Should be a pretty secure build for Jordan as he continues to pump out two-handed swords, soon to be champions. Should get really nice, efficient trades. He's adding in that castle back on his side, as we said, adding in a university as well. Champ upgrade will be done soon as MBL finishes a TC. A TC right in Jordan's face. Weird position for that town center, and Jordan can see it. That's a really ballsy TC. If you're Jordan, you can kill that TC like any number of ways, and one way is to pump out like one treb and knock down that building. And that's what Jordan's going to do. We do hear the first couple of hand cannons out for MBL. He does need to have something to deal with the champions. Bodkin arrow coming for the blue player, and he continues to spam forward the champions. Champions will be double-legged eventually by hand cannons if they get in high enough number, but right now they're certainly not in high enough number. Aggressive farming. Aggressive TC there on the front. That's a weird TC. I don't know if he was trying to put that up in the fog of war. There's not like a gold pile there either. It's just, I want a TC up on this wood line. Kind of weird. Champions continue to spam in. Thumbring, Elite Skirm, Bracer, Padded Archer. It looks like Jordan will go down at the Skirmisher line. He will have Skirms with some champions behind them. Those champions are starting to get deeper and deeper into MBL's eco, and you can see there's a lot of blue blinking dots inside of MBL's economy. MBL will power up a castle. That will be his only castle. 2 relics apiece for the 2 guys. TC's going down on this side. Villager count is 133 for Jordan, just 94 for MBL. So Jordan has champions aplenty. He's got a couple trebs that he can pack up and move forward. Siege for him has not been super active, and we have not seen the Mamma Jammas. Husbandry coming for him. Maybe he will go down the Hussar line here to beef up this unit. MBL's hand cannons are getting in higher number, but you know MBL sustained some damage. He's going to lose a TC on the front, and now he'll add in another TC behind him. 4 castles for Jordan, lots of protection. As we said, Jordan's map is really great for the extra resource piles, and he's taking full advantage of it. Ballistics coming for the blue player. His skirmishers continue to roll in, and he continues to put MBL in the corner. This is definitely Jordan's game to win. The scores suggest that he's up by 2.5k. I think that's probably accurate. MBL is going to try to defend with a couple of hand cannons here. Probably can get in some good damage. Blue player on top of the hill is going to... He's going to stand and fight for a moment. More skirmishers can come into the fray and maybe knock down some of those hand cannons. Ballistics will help a lot for Jordan. As that comes in, he can start to snipe down the hand cannons more effectively. Ring archer armor coming for the blue player. More units spamming across the map into one area. Blue player's adding in some stables. We did see him upgrading a bit down the stable line, but we have not seen any mounted units out on the map yet. For now, Jordan is taking over the top of this hill, pushing in on MBL's eco. MBL still sub 100 villager count. Arbs make more sense to kill Cataphracts. Cataphracts are out on the map. They will do nicely versus the champions here. Cataphracts are going to be +1/+1, so they still require a little beefing, but they will do a very nice job versus those infantry. Jordan probably pretty happy to snipe down a bunch of these hand cannons on the side, but yeah, you know, probably not super happy with the cataphracts slowing down his roll. Continued production, though, toward this side, and it's still a really tough spot for MBL. MBL's got one castle, so the cataphracts are not going to be coming out on the map so quickly, and of course, you know, even a good counter unit is not going to win 3 versus 1, or 4 versus 1, or more than that. Certainly not without all the upgrades and fixins. So, you know, Jordan keeps pouring in units. Cataphracts are a good idea here, and we'll see if they can pull the game back a little bit for MBL. So we've been looking at Jordan's side for a while. We can see he's ready for another castle. He's got some gold to work with. MBL is not quite ready for another castle, probably not having too much more stone to work with now that he's lost that front stone pile. But MBL's economy continues to stay afloat. A lot of villagers on this front gold. Certainly not the ideal confirmation economically for him. I mean, to be honest, Jordan's map has all the extra resources. MBL's map is not so great. He does need to take control, though, of this left side if he's going to have a chance at winning this match. Continued spam coming to the top of this hill for Jordan, still pumping it out as fast as he can. Hussar coming, Chain Barding Arbor coming, Capture Ram coming. This push is going to transition into something that's a little bit more nimble, a little bit more raid heavy, maybe with some Hussar, and maybe a little more grind you down with a couple of Capture Ram. Hussar roaming to the back of this economy, they will do a number over time on MBL. Jordan doing a nice job here to just keep making his little advantage bigger and bigger. The score lead, well, it will be actually a nice game to look at the score graph, because every couple minutes of game time, we've seen a couple hundred more points for Jordan. And he's in a great spot to win this one. Certainly an underdog versus MBL rating-wise, but the last few days have been kind to Jordan. He's earned a couple of really nice victories. And it looks like he will probably be able to grab a win here. Complete blacksmith build. Yeah, Jordan is going for the whole blacksmith and nothing but the blacksmith. Elite skirm still pushing back. The longswords for now are going to focus a lot of those units down. Blue player will get a castle on top of the hill, and we will see hand cannons from the blue player as well. So Hussar, hand cannons, champions. Jordan going for all of the fixins in this game. MBL's got his one castle under siege from Jordan's couple of trebs. Does not have an army over there to keep that alive. And this continues to go from bad to worse for purple. MBL's been digging himself out of some holes lately, but this hole's pretty big. This is a big hole. MBL trying to push up the hill with the trash. He is playing as the Byzantines after all, so he will be able to pump that trash for a long time. GG comes in from MBL. Jordan's castle's coming, and look at the resources that Jordan's sitting on top of. A nice game from Jordan, earning a nice win from the guy who started the day at the top of the leaderboard. Jordan getting in 3 wins out of 5 here. Really nice series for Jordan, looking like he's on top of his game. Jordan, of course, collecting the most. He had the most fills. What did we want to look at? We wanted to look at the timeline. The score just seemed at the end of that game to just slowly creep downward for MBL as Jordan started to spam out the champions. It was a nice win from Jordan. It was a nice transition to champions. Ultimately, grabs him the win. Jordan will take off for the night, and this series will be done. So 5 games even for the 2 sides. Let's jump out of here, boys, and let's jump out of here and let's update the score. Update the score just so that people can see it one last time. It will be Jordan grabbing the victory, and he will win 3 games to 2. Jordan getting a 3-game-to-2 victory but over MBL. A little bit of a shocker. A little bit of a shocker. Maybe you're not surprised, but I'm surprised. Nice little series there from Jordan. Great entertainment from both sides. Big ups to MBL and Jordan for bringing us a little bit of something fun to watch here on a lovely Thursday evening. Let's see. Jordan winning versus MBL, says Leo. Indeed. That forward production should